Welcome back to the party, everybody. This is Morty, and I am your host, Lech, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Everybody, hit that like and subscribe. You know I would do it for you, and let's party. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How is everybody doing? We got Behave in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We also got our boy Nick Sadher, and shout out to our boy Nick Lou Ketty. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very good to see you guys. Unfortunately, it is a rather slow news day, and I'd hoped we would have been able to kind of move on from just harping on how bad the left is vis-a-vis Charlie Kirk. But unfortunately, we are not. Unfortunately, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I'm sure some of you saw the Piers Morgan episode from a couple of days ago where Cornel West rage quit and Destiny went mask off. It was wild. So let's just dive right in. As always, guys, if you cannot hear the video, please do let me know.
Discuss that and the wider issue of the Charlie Kirk murder. The host of the Crucible, Andrew Wilson, host and executive producer of the Young Turks, Anna Kasparian, professor, philosopher, and activist Dr. Cornel West. And I'll start with Jack Posobiec, who's the senior editor at Human Events and a close friend of Charlie Kirk. Well, Jack, good to have you on Uncensored. My deepest sympathies to you as one of Charlie's many friends. Absolutely horrific murder, cold blood execution. And we're now seeing all the fallout from this. What is your view of the reaction to what has happened with Charlie Kirk? I played at the start of this a rapper brazenly celebrating his death, then lying about celebrating it. But there's been so much of that.
Oh, we can pull that up. If you guys didn't see Bob Villain with a V celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, I mean, it's pretty much what you think it is. But he's just on stage. He's like, yeah, rest in peace, woohoo! And then he tried to come out with a statement like, no, I didn't do that. You did, though. Shout out to King Nirvana. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Very good to see you, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
What do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, Piers, thanks for having me on again. And I don't even know how to put it in words. I wake up on Wednesday, routine day. Charlie's going to campus. I'm covering the show.
It's been a full week. It's been a full week already. God damn.
And then minutes later, I get footage of my friend getting murdered on live TV. And then I wake up the next day and I see thousands of people celebrating it and cheering it. And here's a concert hall full of people clapping and laughing, and a rapper, cheering it on. And we've got a big problem, Piers. We've got a big problem where people have just, I feel like they've lost their humanity. I think that they've lost humanity, and they've lost sight of and been totally dissociated with humanity and with reality. And I think there's some kind of social, spiritual cancer that's going on, to take someone who is a young man, who's a husband, who's a father of 2 young children. I saw the family this weekend, and just because of social media, or you think someone's just an influencer, just someone to disagree with, that I can get away from them. Well, it's not that. It's a real person. We're all real people, and I think we've all lost sight of that.
I think well said, that it's a real person. We've lost sight of that. How often do we talk here about how, mainly the left, but I'll say it's certainly not just the left, people in politics looking at this like it's just a game and that it doesn't really matter, when it really, really does.
Made you more concerned about your own safety? You're a high-profile conservative. You're out there, you're doing events, you're talking. How do you feel? A lot of people must be asking themselves this question: what now, in terms of your security and so on?
Well, Piers, look, there are people who did this. This was an evil act. This was not an accident. And obviously we need to be secure. Every event going forward, we need to make sure that there is pure security. Obviously the question of outside events is something that's going to have to be discussed and considered, whether or not we can properly secure that, not just for those of us who might be on the microphone, but the people and
yeah,
the students and employees and staff who are going to be at these events, and even just regular students on campus. I mean, campus security, or all security. But the problem is that we've entered into a very dark place, and I fear that until we really start to deal with this cancer that's been metastasized throughout our society, we're still going to be living with this threat.
When Elon Musk,
Agreed. Shout out to Liberty Plus TV. Said sitting around talking to people who want you dead is treating reality like it's a game. I don't just fully disagree. I don't disagree.
addressed this very large crowd in London on Saturday and said that the only way to respond to this violence from the left is to fight back. Many have interpreted that to mean, if need be, violently. Do you feel that is ratcheting up the rhetoric too far, or do you think he meant something else?
And that's where, I am going to be trying to walk the tightrope, because I do think that it is not good to be ratcheting up the tensions. But I completely agree with what Liberty Plus TV is saying. The question is, okay, well, then what do you do? What do you do? Shout out to Josie. Welcome. Said, fuck the left. It's hard not to feel that way, right? It's hard. Oh, did it? Jimmy. Well, we got a dilly for that. Jimmy Kimmel. Bye-bye. Oh, Jimmy Kimmel. You were once cool on the Man Show. And then welcome to the party, guys.
I didn't hear all of Elon's speech. I've been dealing with other things this weekend. But look, in terms of fighting back, obviously, I think that we need to continue Charlie's mission, fight the way that Charlie fought, do politics the right way, fight with our words, fight with our ideals, fight with dialogue, with speech. I've always stood for freedom of speech. Charlie always stood for freedom of speech. And
shout out to Cheddar Steve over on Rumble. Said Jimmy Kimmel fired. I guess that is the. I hope Adam Carolla gets his job. That would be poetry. Welcome to the party. So we know what we're all here for. Let's jump ahead to the shit show. Let's bring it in.
Erin, what was your immediate reaction when you heard about what had happened to Charlie Kirk, and presumably at some stage saw the video?
Well, it started with absolute shock, followed by despair, followed by fear of what this means for the country and how things could potentially and very likely devolve further. Charlie.
Did he? That would simultaneously not be surprising, because he's been, insanely off the rails, but also they just lick his nuts. Him and Hassan can just say whatever they want. So I would fully believe it. And I could also believe that never would happen.
Things could potentially and very likely devolve further. Charlie and I had multiple debates and conversations, and what I really appreciated about Charlie, and I've said this multiple times, was that even though we had disagreements, he had a huge platform and was inviting to people like me to make my case to a completely different audience about my point of view, why I believe things that I believe. And that's what is supposed to make America great. The ability to live in a pluralistic society where people...
It's almost like we were trying to make America great again.
The ability to live in a pluralistic society,
yes,
where people have differences of...
Yes. I want to be there filming it. That's what I want.
The ability to live in a pluralistic society where people have differences of opinion, but can engage with one another in good faith and make their case. I was recently on Tucker Carlson's show for a pretty lengthy interview. And after that interview ended, Tucker Carlson let me know that Charlie Kirk reached out to him and said that he loved the interview and would like to have me on his show. That's the kind of person Charlie Kirk was. Now, that's not to take away from the things that I vehemently disagreed with him on. But engaging in violence is an act of cowardice. It's what losers do. It's what people who are unable to articulate their arguments effectively resort to. That's my take on what happened to Charlie Kirk. And I have to say, the video of him getting killed was one of the most disgusting, horrific things I've seen, and I can't get that image out of my mind. It's seared in my mind.
Thank you for saying what you just said. Very clear.
I just
didn't want to hear it.
God damn it! I did not mean to do that. Where are we? I just did watch the new episodes of Gen V, and there's a lot of blood in that too. But that's fiction, and yikes. Nick said, Destiny's done enough cocksucking to have good job security. If only he was sucking the right dicks. If only He was sucking the right dicks. All right, so I gotta find where we were again. I apologize. My good mouse isn't working, so I'm going back and forth to pause. We're gonna find it. Stick with me real quick.
Horrific things I've seen, and I can't get that image out of my
there we
mind.
go.
It's seared in my mind.
Look at that. I mean, like a pro, right where we left off. Frank said she shouldn't have watched it. I'm of two minds on that. I'm of two minds. I think that it is important to be aware of the reality of what we're dealing with, but I also, I don't know if it is beneficial, if it's going to make people that much more emotional than logical. It's tough to say. Threading the needle. Just said last night in my California town, there was a candlelight memorial for Charlie. There was an estimated 200 to 300 people, 250, 300 people to show up. It was close to 3,000 people, and the local cops and patrols showed up. There you go. There you go. Shout out to the California fans. Larry said Anna and Jen created these lunatics by helping popularize this Marxist BS. 20 years of propaganda. The right. Again, I don't disagree. I think that it's extremely important to trace this back and be like, where did this all begin, and where is it that we jumped the ship? Where did we go off the rails so that we can understand exactly how we got here? And I don't think that she is the best person to be on this panel unless you want to say that I'm the person. If she's going to say, I'm the person who started talking about all this stuff, and I was wrong. Like, yeah, she's gotten some better ideas recently, but like this is still fact. So, I mean, shout out to Andrew who brings it up, but I mean, Destiny makes her look like the good lefty here, and she does make some decent points, but at the end of the day, she started a lot of this.
I can't get that image out of my mind. It's seared in my mind.
But thank you for saying what you just said. Very clear. What has been truly shocking to me, not just the murder itself, which was obviously just horrific, as was the video. And I agree, it's very hard to ever lose that image of what happened. But the reaction from young people in particular on the left, I have to say, I have found absolutely sickening. The glee, the celebration, the TikToks, the general, the behavior of this rap band, Bob Dylan, and then the lying about the fact they were clearly celebrating in the most despicable manner what had happened to Charlie Kirk. I've got no problem with people appraising Charlie Kirk's record and criticizing him where they feel he was wrong about stuff. That's fine.
And I wouldn't even have an issue with people saying, you know what, I'm sorry, I just don't really care. I didn't like Charlie Kirk and whatever, so I just don't care. I wouldn't have had any issue with that, but they had to just take it one big step forward.
It happens to every public figure when they die. But to gleefully celebrate the cold-blooded execution of a 31-year-old father of two.
A shout out to Nick sharing the video. You guys know likes, shares, all that stuff is free. It's easy. It helps out the channel so much. It does not even matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling YouTube, X, or Rumble that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you, sir. Very, very much so.
Execution of a 31-year-old father of two. I just found crossed every line of humanity. And I guess, Anna, a lot of these young people, you've met a lot of these young people on the left. What is going on with young people on the left? And I'm not for a moment saying there aren't young people on the right that have similar mindsets about their opponents. But
exactly what's going on. It is a spiritual loss because of the false dichotomy of Christianity or nihilism. That's what it is.
What is going on with these young people on the woke left who genuinely look at that and think this is something to celebrate?
What do we think? Josie said she's going to be Republican by or before the next election, and I've got to take the screenshot and keep that in the notes so that we can see. What was the last one that I kept? Matthew King said, "Take a breath, DJ. Be smart and don't fall for a trap." This is a trap. Another J6, and it seems to be the case. So maybe Josie's prediction will be correct as well. Larry said, I just watched Piers let two leftist lunatics shout over Riley and Jillian. At the same time, they say they want to talk about it. Yep, I was watching that one as well. I wasn't sure which one I was going to go with, but this one's a little bit more on the nose. Shout out to CT223. Welcome to the party. We got our boy Dixie inside her. This what about the right? The right wing stuff is getting tiresome. Well, to use their words, isn't that a whataboutism? Yes, it is a whataboutism. And the reason that it's not a whataboutism for us to be like, well, look at what the left is doing is because we are talking about what the left is doing. We got Aiden Tolson. Welcome. I don't know who Charlie Church is, but if you are asking about Charlie Kirk, yes, I was a big fan of Charlie Kirk. Had a number of disagreements with him, but big fan. Liberty said the left is going to bring more socialism to the right. Great. That's why I'm telling you the right is going to split. It's going to be Republicans and MAGA. I am telling you. I did, in fact, see news about Jimmy Kimmel. Bye-bye. Should have stuck with the man show. No, sir. I am not a Christian. I am an agnostic atheist.
Left, who genuinely look at that and think this is something to celebrate.
Actually, you know what? Hold on. Jeffree Star looks like that, but Jeffree Star's been pretty based in terms of what he said. Jeffree Star's been pretty much like mainline Republican talking points. It's just that, you know, he looks like a they them. Oh, what now? Oh.
Well, I'm going to answer the question, but let me just note that there are different factions on the left. And I think the way that this is kind of being discussed in a way that just kind of generalizes everyone on the left is kind of unfair. But putting that aside, I do think that we have an overall problem. I think what happened is a symptom of a bigger issue that we have, not just in this country, but I'm seeing it happen globally, where there's just this dehumanization of people based on their political views. And on top of that, the devaluing of human life, right? I mean, we've been seeing images of people being butchered, children being butchered endlessly on social media over the last nearly 2 years. Prior to that, I mean, the rhetoric that devalues human life, I think, has played a role into it. But also, I just think that there's this dumb idea that all you need to do is like get rid of or take out some of the prominent figures on the political side of the aisle that you disagree with, and that'll somehow solve the issue. No, that doesn't.
Yeah, especially when you take the moderate ones like Charlie Kirk. Yeah, that was a radical voice.
Solve the issue. What it does is it makes the situation in various countries where this type of political violence plays out far worse. Now you're hearing talk of retaliation in a violent way. When it comes to the Trump administration, you're hearing policies that are being proposed that would limit the legitimate political speech of Americans. I am concerned about that. What that disgusting murderer did is he pushed for this country to devolve further. And I wish that cooler heads would prevail, but at the same time, I don't begrudge people who are angry. I mean, that poor wife and her 2 children witnessed Charlie Kirk get shot and killed in the neck. I don't begrudge her at all for being furious. No. I can't even imagine where my headspace would be at right now if that happened to my husband.
Right.
Yeah. And so while we're talking about, you know, where does Anna fall? Do we trust Anna? Anna's been the cause from all of this stuff. Fair. But we also have to take, you know, Anna's a person as well. We have to understand that people do sometimes change. And if she's showing a genuine change, then we want to encourage that change. We want more people like who Anna was to become more like who Anna is becoming. I think that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Andrew Wilson, where were you when you heard about Charlie Kirk? And what is your view of the fallout from this?
Yeah, I was sitting with my wife watching TV. So the thing is I remember this picture circulating around of Charlie Kirk. He was debating the incoming president of the Oxford Union, and they were all smiles and handshakes. And by the next day, this guy was saying the most insane rhetoric about how he basically had it coming. So how many of these leftists have murderous intent? When we show up to have a conversation with them. We show up.
Why are you in an Oxford debate and you're in sweatpants? Like, come on.
To debate our views. We show up to in some way engage with them. How many of them have seething murderous intent behind their eyes? And
I think a lot less than we think. The problem is not that so many of them have that murderous intent. It's that the ones that have the murderous intent are fucking serious about it. That's my stance.
How many of them have seething murderous intent behind their eyes? And they don't really want to do any of that. They really want you dead. And that is the biggest demonstration of that, by the way, in that one single picture. You have Anna Kasparian here, and she's talking about this. The Young Turks call.
I mean, you know, as much as I am not a Christian and have many things to say against that, if we're talking about being Antifa or being Christian, it's Christian all goddamn day. So regardless of my beliefs, this is a good thing.
Charlie and Kasparian are here, and she's talking about this. The Young Turks called Charlie Kirk a fascist how many times? The Young Turks played into this rhetoric how much? They went out of their way to do so. Rubin recently called him out for doing it.
Right. And so what she's going to do is jump into defense mode. Well, you know, I'm whatever. What she should do is like, you're right, Andrew. And I feel so terrible about that. And that's a lot of why I've changed my positions, because you're absolutely right. I caused a lot of this and I can't do that. And now that I have this platform, then, you know, something like that. But let's see
how much
goes with it.
They went out of their way to do so. Rubin recently called him out for doing it. So
I've never called him a fascist.
Hang on.
I've literally never. I don't even call Trump a fascist.
I didn't interrupt you once, lady.
You've never called Trump a fascist.
Come on, man.
You've never called Trump a fascist.
Stop the cap.
I do not believe that.
You can't make things up about what I've said about Charlie Kirk.
You can talk when I'm done talking, like I was respectful enough to let you do.
And again, even if you didn't specifically say the word fascist, do you really think it's that wild for somebody to connect Trump is a fascist and the Young Turks? Those are two very closely held ideas, if not completely aligned. And again, I still don't believe that she's never called Trump a fascist.
So the thing is,
Charlie, sure, I completely agree, or I completely believe she never called Charlie a fascist. But I would assume that, and again, I haven't seen it. I don't watch the Young Turks, but I've seen a lot of that type of shit coming out of their mouths. Dixon said, I don't know if you know who Nuxanor is, but he had like 5 clips right in a row of her calling Trump and the right a fascist. That's what they do. Why am I not surprised? And so that's why it's frustrating, because I want to, I think she has a more rational position here. But if I can't justify having anything that you say being followed, then that's a problem. And like I said, that was a great mea culpa moment for everything that she's ever said that she wants to let go. Andrew handed that to her on a platter. Here you go. Here's your mea culpa moment. You got it. It's right there. And instead, you lie. I'm sitting here trying to like you. I'm sitting here trying to tell the people that are sitting here watching me, hey, we should be more open to Anna Kasparian. And then you lie.
Come on, man.
You
Charlie
can talk
Kirk.
when I'm done talking, like I was respectful enough to let you do. So the thing is like, yes, they do. This network does do that. And these leftists do that. And they set all the rhetoric up in the world to make sure something like this happened. And they were dancing on the grave of this guy before he was even cold. I have tweets from Destiny, which are insane. The leftists have gone off the reservation. And it's time for us to stop pretending that it's not their rhetoric which is leading to these types of assassinations, because it is. I don't want to hear about factions. All of you guys are doing this. All of you guys have the same type of rhetoric which leads to this, or the networks you work for do.
All right, let's see. So I see from a couple weeks ago. Let's see what
this went super viral, and I think it's absolutely diabolical. Today we're going to be covering one of the darkest stories we've ever.
If Dixon, if you have a link for me and you want to drop it in the Discord, we can definitely do that. But let's see.
Shows that are literally telling people to kill police officers. So Rolling Stone dropped their top 25 most influential creator list, and over. Yeah, so this is just his reaction to someone literally.
All right, let's check I would assume it would be something more recent because of all this. What's this?
The left, the right. See? Both sides commit violence. Wow. Literally both sides are the problem here. Except one side is more of the problem than others. Today we're talking about.
Aren't like fascists. They are fascists. So at this point, I don't want to hear any.
Hold on. All right. Shout out to Dixon for this side quest. I forgot my my side quest music and my banner. I've never called Donald Trump a fascist, says Anna Kasparian.
Fucking insufferable dealing with this shit, man. Let me see if I can find this. Literally, fuck yourself. Republicans go full fascist, daydreaming about unlimited power with a picture of Charlie Kirk on the thumbnail.
What? It's called Republicans Are Fascists! The video is called Republicans Are Fascists!
Saying Repubs admit fascist dreams, all right? On your channel. Why are we playing this game? Why are we playing this game? Republicans are fascists.
These people aren't like fascists. They are fascists. So at this point, I don't want to hear any talk from Republicans about, oh no, guys, we just have simple disagreements. Well, you know, we think we should bust into people's houses, take their kids away from them.
Deport illegal immigrants is probably what he means.
Because they love their kids and they were treating their kids well.
Oh, don't worry, I am a feminized, emotional manlet, and they love their kids. So of course we shouldn't deport illegal immigrants.
We should make the decisions for them about how to treat their kids. And then if they disagree with us, we should make sure they can't leave the state and then stuff them in a prison. And in Idaho, life in prison. Life in prison for loving your children. No, Republicans are ugly, they're immoral, and they're fascist.
All right,
so that's
really,
Cenk.
is that when both sides happen?
Carlson would never get his
When he wants to interview
That's
them.
Cenk.
Okay.
Now we got Anna herself. So let's not be unfair and say that the words of Cenk are the words of Anna. That, I mean, it's all under the TYT banner, but we want to be as fair as we possibly can. Shout out to TV viewers. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Yes, Dixon was calling him out, and so this side quest is here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Literally said, I love that Andrew doesn't take these people's shit. I unsubbed over the flag shit, but I re-subbed yesterday. Aw, he's in favor of the flag hate speech thingy? That's disappointing. That's pretty woke and gay, but whatever. Nick said, words have meanings. I wish people remembered what fascist actually means. Well, I kind of am glad that we don't. I'd rather people live in a world where they can throw around the word fascist because it's not that way than actually know what fascist means. But yikes. Yikes. All right, let's see it from her own mouth.
Not personally, Tucker Carlson would never get his hands dirty, but he encourages others to want to slaughter you.
Oh.
To slaughter you.
So Tucker Carlson is convincing people to kill you. All right, that's what Tucker Carlson is doing.
And you're putting out this ad. It's hilarious. It really is hilarious.
It's disgusting,
No, it's
obviously.
yeah.
And you correctly identified it. Like a core part of being a right winger is fantasizing about an excuse to be able to start killing people.
All right,
Like-
so core.
What? That's a wild statement. Yeah, if you're on the right wing, you fantasize about mass murder. What? Like, I really, for him, I don't know if he really believes that. But how many people watch this video and truly believe this? Well, after all of this stuff happened, like I try to keep politics off of my TikTok. I need that as my safe space to talk about movies and TV shows and stuff. But I just, I couldn't help it. I got into, this debate about, the whole a good guy with a gun is the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun. And the lefties that were commenting, they literally, I'm not exaggerating, they literally thought that when we say the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, they thought that means that if a good guy with a gun exists, then a bad guy can't do anything. That it's like a force field. That's just like, what? Stupid. Obviously not. Obviously not. Shout out to Brandon Murphy. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the party. Of course, we're gonna hit the like button on Nuxanor here, and I'll drop the link for you guys if you want to watch that in full. But fact check, fail. What does Brandon say? Leftists can be the narcissists we should stay away from. They have no remorse and sympathy when people get hurt or worse. Yeah, because again, it's all games to them. It's all games. He's a socialist? What? Yeah, I mean, because he's a VTuber. I mean, get some fucking balls, bro. I mean, I'm sorry, but like, if you're a VTuber, you're a VTuber. You're a VTuber. Sorry. Anyway, diving back in.
You guys have the same type of rhetoric which leads to this, or the networks you work for do.
Well, Anna, let me let you respond to that before I bring Cornell.
I've never called him. I have never called Charlie Kirk a fascist, number one. In fact, if anything,
Okay, so she did say Charlie Kirk. Nitpicking,
we have
but
received
okay.
a tremendous amount. I don't
actually,
remember
wait, because I did think that she said Trump at first, but you said all Republicans. Charlie's Republicans, so you still lose.
Received a tremendous amount. I don't remember Trump. I don't remember Cenk calling Charlie Kirk a fascist. In fact,
Oh, you just don't
Cenk and I
recall?
got into a
You just
debate
don't
about
recall?
whether or not. Hold on. I don't remember Cenk calling Charlie Kirk a fascist. He called
Very
Trump a
evasive.
fascist, and he and I got into a debate about that. But to lump in everyone on the
A
left
debate about something that you agreed with. I know that Andrew loves that kind of stuff. If you know, you know. But something tells me that if you guys were talking about Trump being a fascist, that you weren't disagreeing. Just saying. Shout out to TV Viewerski for the $10 PayPal. Thank you so very, very much. Getting us started on that swole goal. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Of course, every donation comes with a treat for Morty. And if we hit that goal, look how puny I am. I got to do push-ups, guys. I need your help. Bulk me up. TV Viewerski getting us started. Look at Dixie inside her. Except for the side quest. Thank you, sir, for the side quest. And again, for Morty. Guys, we are off to the races. Thank you so very, very much. And shout out to our new sponsor, TV Viewerski, and our boy Dixie Insider, shouting out the Shuli Network. Thank you so very, very much, guys.
into a debate about that. But to lump in everyone on the left together, I don't agree with Destiny on anything these days. Destiny is totally
shit. Me too.
Unhinged in his rhetoric 100%. I have been critical of Charlie Kirk's political views, but going around referring to people as Nazis, turning the temperature up, I did not engage in that. So
yes, you fucking did. Yes, the fuck you did.
Turning the temperature up, I did not engage in that. So I just want you to at least be fair about what I've actually said about
There's no actual reason for us to believe leftists at this point. It's very clear that while they come out with a handshake and wanting to have these conversations they claim, right? In reality, what they're doing is they have murderous intent, and they'll celebrate you the day that you die. The next day, they'll go after your wife. Thousands of social media accounts going after her wife, or this guy's wife, after she made a speech about her poor husband. Yes, it is your side that's doing that. Like it or not, it's your side that's doing that. There's no equivalency between the right and the left on this. Yeah, okay, fine.
Semantics. You know what he means. He means the people on your side. The people on your side who say the things like you say. The type of people who watch your show. So call yourself whatever you want. It's that. The same exact argument that I had with Rachel Wilson about what it means for a government not to allow somebody to vote. If you want, fine. If you don't want to call that oppression, fine. I'm not tied to that. Well, what do you call it then? That's what I'm talking about. That was Rachel's way of agreeing with me, and this is Anna's way of agreeing with her husband. Dilly. We got our boy JL in the building. Welcome to the party. Same thoughts on the statement. If I see a black pilot, I hope they know what they are doing. I get the statement on how DEI hires aren't good, but isn't it harmful to assume everyone is hired off of race? Yes, that is why you should not put people in the position of having to worry about if it's a woman or a person of color, if they are actually hired for their merit versus their race or gender. So I absolutely agree that it is a terrible thing that the left forced us into a position to think racist things. Completely agree. That is why we shouldn't have DEI. Welcome to the party. CT's down to watch Inglourious Bastards. I am as well, even though some of you are like, it's Jewish propaganda. That's the gayest, wokest thing I've ever heard in my life. But yeah, hit up the Discord if you guys are down. I am down. But like I said, if you guys are there, if we got 3 people, we'll do it. Getting called a Nazi, do they not know their history? He wouldn't have liked Americans. Yeah, exactly. All right, welcome. Let's dive right back in.
Your side that's doing that. There's no equivalency between the right and the left on this. Yeah, okay, fine. You're not a leftist. I'm sorry. Are you on the left wing? Are you a Democrat? Are you more of a Democrat than you are a Republican? Do you move towards those types of issues?
I'm not a Democrat. I actually registered as an independent.
Fine. You register as an independent.
Nope.
At least know.
Nope. Come on, Anna. This is the thing. Maybe you're used to this semantic obfuscation bullshit on the left, and maybe people are willing to entertain it. But if you want to be taken seriously by people like us, then you got to stand 10 toes down. You got to stand on your shit. If you're on the left, then be on the left. Say, yes, I'm on the left. Well, I'm not a leftist, but I am on the left. I get what you're saying. Well, no, not technically, I'm on the left. Shut up. That's not what is at stake here. That's not what we're talking about. I'm not a leftist.
My views are if you're going to attack me.
All right, let me
Okay,
bring
so-
in. All right,
so
let
what
me
are your
bring in.
views on
I've
Trump?
been
Is
attacked
Trump
by
a
the left over
totalitarian
the last
dictator?
3 years.
All right, let me
no,
bring
no,
in.
no, no.
I mean, I think she did change, and I think she is changing. She's just not fully there yet. It takes time. It takes time.
No,
Look.
I've been attacked by the left. No, let me, Pierce, let me just at least
All right.
address that. I've been attacked viciously by leftists over the last 3 years because of the fact that I want to engage in this type of dialogue, because of the fact I was willing to sit down with Charlie Kirk and with Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro. I'm willing to have conversations, and I don't go around labeling people as fascist and racist and Nazis just because I disagree with them.
Just
So
the
just
organization you work for
at least
does?
understand
Just the
what my
organization you
political
work
views
for
are.
does?
Listen, I'm not going to be blamed for what
Listen, what?
everyone in that company has to say. Anyone in that
What about you? What about what you said? Can we blame you for what you said? Fine. Anna, I am willing to accept that you have changed. I'm willing to accept that. But I forget who was it, but without reconciliation, the change means nothing. Shout out to John Castle. Welcome, welcome, welcome. One of the few, just like me, said false on our running poll. The left is our enemy, true or false? And right now, 72% of you said true, and that is not a good thing, and you are very wrong. No, so they StreamYard added, is it too loud? StreamYard added a thing where you can upload. Is that better? Too loud? Let me know. CT said, I've seen enough videos of Anna laying into Cenk to believe she isn't a leftist. Fair. But in this, in the exchange that she just had, that was not the crux of what they were talking about. And whether or not she was actually a leftist or a progressive or an independent who votes left, like, same shit. The point stands. That's one of those situations where it's like, okay, concede that part. Fine, you're not a leftist. Did that change anything about what I just said about you? Okay, glad we agree. Glad we agree. John said, to the right of Charlie, now me and everyone on the extreme will be labeled terrorists. Well, that's why I'm with you in saying that we shouldn't, be like them and demonize an entire side of the aisle. I think there's a lot of people that absolutely are our enemies on the left. I just don't think that saying if you're on the left, you're the enemy. I think that's I don't think that's good. I don't think that's going to get us anywhere. But that's a conversation we're going to have to get into. Yeah, well, we all know that. And well, I mean, he is a bad faith debater, but there, she was the one being bad faith. She was the one being bad faith there. Like we said, Anna's pretending to not be a leftist. Wait until there's a Democrat is in power. Yeah, right. We'll see it. We'll see it.
blamed for what everyone in that company has to say. Anyone in that company has to say.
The
I'm
head
an
of that
individual.
company?
We are supposed
The
to
head of
judge
that
people
company, your
based
co-host?
on
Come on.
individual.
Shout out to Ray Jenkins. We were being sarcastic, but that is wild. That is wild. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. We also got our boy Guam Tech. Ooh. You gave me pause, sir. You gave me pause. Remember, the poll is the left is our enemy. True or false? Context says, according to them, they are our enemy. And I will call and I will raise you. Oh, so you live your life by what the left tells you to? Welcome to the party, brother. Very good to see you.
To say
The
I'm
head
an
of that
individual.
company?
We are supposed
The
to
head of
judge
that
people
company, your
based
co-host?
on
Come on.
individuals. He did
I
not
am
go
judging
around
you. I'm
calling
judging-
Charlie Kirk
I'm
a
judging
fascist
you
and a
and saying that
Nazi.
you don't have good reasoning skills. If it's the case that you think, oh my
Well,
God,
I'm judging
you can't be
for
calling
being
people
so
Nazis. You
simple-minded.
can't be-
No, I'm judging you. Like, why does it always have to devolve with these fucking women?
Skills.
No,
if it's the case that you think, oh my
Well,
God,
I'm judging
you can't be
for
calling
being
people
so
Nazis. You
simple-minded
can't be calling
that you're
people Nazis while
no
your
one's
boss
calling you
does
a
all the
Nazi.
time.
Why are you making that up? You're just making
Because
it up. You're just
No,
making it
your
up.
boss-
We're
your
all
boss-
Is he the? Nope.
just
Has
saying.
many
That's how
times. Your boss
simple-minded
has
you
many
are.
times.
You're all
It's not
the same.
simple-minded
Okay,
to
then
point out
everyone
the
on the
truth.
right is just like Dylan Roof.
All right. Let me.
I mean, that's a lot closer to stuff that you've been saying that I've seen. That I've seen. You've been saying a lot of stuff closer to that than anything you've been representing so far. Shout out to K-Ram. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you as well. She's better than. I'm going to assume you guys are talking to each other. All right, let's dive right back in.
Okay, then everyone on the right is just like Dylan Roof.
All right, let me
Minded that.
let me bring in. I want to bring in Cornel West. I want to bring in Cornel West.
Actually, before they do that, I'm glad that she said that because she demonstrated something where they want to both sides this thing, and you can't both sides it. There is discussion to be had about rhetoric on the right. That is not a null part of this conversation, but it's so much smaller of a part of this conversation than the rhetoric from the left. And so she's trying to say, well, I'm going to say that all of the right is like Dylan Roof. Like, okay, but that doesn't fit because people on the right don't typically act like that. When we're saying everybody on the left is throwing around fascist and Nazi and this and that, people on the left do that. So if people on the right were running around with guns, shooting people like Dylan Roof, then fine, you'd be able to say that and it would work. But it doesn't. So it doesn't. So you fail yet again. I'm
bring in Cornel. He's been waiting.
Shut up,
Please, let Cornel come in now. He's been waiting very patiently. Cornel, welcome back to Uncensored.
I'm gonna come.
Where things are getting incendiary quite quickly.
Hey, thank you. Guam Tag said like and shared again. You know that stuff is free. It's easy. It helps out the channel so very, very much. It does not even matter what you guys where you guys post it. It doesn't matter if anybody clicks on the link. Just by you telling YouTube, X, and Rumble that you want more people to see the show, they will show it to more people. Thank you so very, very much, sir.
I think the overriding point I would make about the debate we've just been hearing between Andrew and Anna is that there is little doubt to me that the constant rhetoric on the left, the woke left, let me be specific to where I think a lot of the blame lies, ever since Donald Trump came into power in 2016, has been this relentless use of the phrases Hitler, Nazis, fascists about Trump and about Trump supporters. And the problem with constantly saying this
that's from the 2016. I am better than you.
As a group, as the woke left have done for...
Oh, Jay, don't do that. What about January 6th? What about the thing that happened one day with a couple hundred people 5 years ago? What about it?
Constantly saying this as a group, as the woke left have done for 9 years now, is that eventually it permeates down to young impressionable minds who genuinely believe that it is their mission to stop America from being taken over by the new Nazis or the new fascists or the new Hitler. And that
spoiler alert, god damn. But yes, Cornel does rage quit. Stick around for that. And it was pretty pathetic. I could definitely see somebody like Cornel West being in a conversation, even with somebody like an Andrew Wilson, where justifiably he'd be like, screw this, I'm not being a part of this. But this wasn't it.
That leads to the kind of thing we saw with Charlie Kirk. Do you agree that this language, this relentless, in my view, woeful misuse?
Shout out to Justin. Welcome. So the left screams fascism while killing people with opposing views. You can't make this shit up. Welcome. Good question, but I would say Liberty Plus is more like a Dave Smith libertarian. Glomtech said, I don't consider anyone my enemy, but they sure do. I like it. I like that. Justin said, I don't think it's left versus right. It's good versus evil. Indeed. And you know what? I knew we would need this. I was talking to you guys about how TikTok is starting to... All right. So we definitely need our side quest music here. TikTok, there's a trend on TikTok where people are starting to talk about groypers and the relevance of groypers in this whole situation, and that the whole thing was basically a shit post, and it's a group of people that are just meme lords to the end of the earth, and this is just another thing. This is kind of a little intro into kind of what's going on there, and so the purpose of this. The definition of groyper is going to change over the next 6 months, and I'm letting you know right now.
Maxing and what that means and what it has to do with groypers, if it has to do with groypers at all. Transmaxing comes from...
Thank you, TV. Have a good one, brother. Come on back when you're eating, brother. Or when you're done eating, I mean.
And red pill incel communities. So this is not something that is groyper specific, first of all, but it is something that is incel specific. So essentially, transmaxing is transitioning into another gender to gain the advantages of that gender, regardless if you identify with the gender in any capacity.
So we, for a long time, have talked about AGP guys who dress up like women because it's sexually, it's a fetish to them. But this is something that is still not gender dysphoria, and yet something else where it's like if you're a black-pilled incel and you're like, oh, I'm never gonna get laid because I don't have the perfect jawline or whatever. I'll just be like, brilliant idea. I'll become a woman, and then I get to do all the things those awful, awful, awful women get to do to me. Shout out to Box. Welcome to the party. Glad you are here. Because we are definitely putting Anna through the ringer. Do we trust or do we not trust? Rare is asking, what exactly is fascism? Basically authoritarianism. It's basically, not the opposite of the way that we want to live with a democratic republic. But all right, transmaxing on Twitter and what this has to do with Charlie Kirk.
The gender in any capacity. So we have to understand the rhetoric that is found within red pill and black pill communities to understand how somebody would want to do that in the first place. The fundamental idea of the red pill and the black pill is that the world is run by a secret organization of feminists that want to keep men down and continually disenfranchise men. Men are the victims of the system, and specifically white men are the victims of the system, and women are...
Remember, this is the black pill incel mentality.
People of color are keeping them down. This is the core belief in red pill communities. Now, obviously, because these communities tend to encourage supremacist belief systems, there is a fetishization for Greco-Roman or classical period literature, stoicism, and cultural norms. I think you know where I'm going with this. Part of the,
Yes, cartoonish nonsense that now has gotten to the point of playing out in real life. Like the cartoonish nonsense that was on I remember the bullet casing or the magazine or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah.
Aesthetic of the Greco-Roman cultural norm and status would be femboys and homosexual relationships with beautiful men specifically. This fetishization of classical Greco-Roman cultural aesthetics means that men who are effeminate find a place for themselves within the incel structure. So they can't find a place for themselves in mainstream society, and they can't find a place for themselves in hyper-masculinized red pill society. But within the subset of that red pill society and black pill society amongst incels who hate women so much they can no longer stand the idea of even being with one, but still want to be with one, they find a space. And that space is being the trophy of the Greco-Roman classical aesthetic, the femboy aesthetic, the apprentice companion to the buff stoic philosopher. And likewise, some of these effeminate men will go on estrogen, and this is what is known as transmaxing. So they are effectively part of the incel community, but they are rebelling against the feminist system by becoming women themselves in order to take advantage of the privileges that they perceive women to have in the social structure. Now,
so what did Justin say? I don't think it's left or right versus right. It's good versus evil. And you're absolutely right. It's the evil of people seeing the landscape and just finding any way to manipulate what's going on so that they can get what is beneficial to them. And so you're absolutely right. And there's a left versus right thing, that it clearly falls on the left. But to say that, oh, it's the left, with this specifically talking about Charlie Kirk, if we just say, oh, it's the left, we're missing out on what the real shit is. So keep that in mind. All right, diving back in real quick, guys. If I could ask you a huge favor, if you are new here, please do hit that subscribe. I am live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and sometimes whenever I feel like it, dropping new videos every single day. Hit that subscribe, and YouTube sucks with those notifications, so hit the bell as well.
Particularly of the word Nazi towards Trump and his supporters. This is part of the problem.
Shout out to Jay Smith.
Well, I think part of the deeper problem, though.
Well, brother, let me tell you, Brother Piers.
The organized greed and weaponized hatred and routinized indifference toward the vulnerable has come together in such a way that it has eroded the sources of character.
Eroding. Come on. Yeah, I gave you that one.
that it has eroded the sources of character formation, so that integrity, honesty, decency, and self-critical sensibilities of individuals and groups is more and more disappearing. So you end up with because hatred itself is promiscuous, just like greed, just like indifference toward the suffering of others. It's promiscuous. It will lie with the left, right, center. It lies with Christians. It lies with Muslims. It lies with Jews. It lies with Buddhists. It lies with Hindus.
Yep. Shout out to Real Black Betty in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Very good to see ya.
And human beings were so wretched in the first place. If we don't undergo some kind of spiritual...
Hold on. Jail, you're not honestly asking why it's okay if adults are shooting other people, right? Because that's what we're talking about. We are talking about, I'm going to shoot somebody for the lulz because I want the people in my Discord server to upvote me. That's why we should care, because that's where it leads. And you can, you can talk about the slippery slope, but it just fucking happened. And so I'm not trying to jump down your throat. I'm using your comment here, but it absolutely matters. Do I want to ban people from being furries? Do I want to ban gay people? Absolutely not. But we need to understand how this stuff is playing out in our society. And it definitely fucking matters.
We're so wretched in the first place. If we don't undergo some kind of spiritual and moral cultivation, we end up falling
saner. If you're dating a fucking assassin, then you're not sane. Sorry.
Kind of spiritual and moral cultivation, we end up falling back on greed and hatred and indifference. And I mean, the American empire at this moment is one in which the lethal combination of the hatred and the greed and the indifference generates very much the exchange that we just saw. You see, this brother right here says, well, all leftists want to see me dead. Well, I'm a leftist. I don't want to see you dead. I'm a Christian.
You called Trump's administration a neo-fascist movement, you lunatic. People have gone out
You're
of
absolutely
your way.
right.
You have gone.
Words are not violence, but it certainly can lead there when you talk like
lunatic.
that.
People have gone out
You're
of your
absolutely
way.
right.
You have gone out of your way.
Let me make the
to do
case.
everything
Let me
possible
make
to
the
cultivate
case.
this.
Let me
Whoa. What do you mean Andrew went too far here? Andrew is just calling out what Cornel West has said and believed, and then Cornel West agrees. I don't know if you saw him. Yes, brother. Yes, brother.
Make the case.
Oh, yeah,
Will you allow that?
You called Trump's administration a neo-fascist movement, you lunatic. People
yes,
have gone out
You're
of your way.
absolutely right.
Andrew. That's exactly what I said and exactly what I meant. So please tell me how he went too far. Shout out to Equality and Deference because vagina over on Rumble. Welcome. Also, send, liked, and share. Thank you again so very, very much. Again, does not matter if you think anybody's going to click on the link. Just by you telling the platform that you want more people to see it, they will show it to more people. Thank you so much. Said, isn't that Andrew a fan of fascism? Yes, but that's only Christian fascism.
Fascist movement, you lunatic. People have gone out
You're
of your way.
absolutely right.
You have gone out of your way.
Let me make the
to do
case.
everything
Let me
possible
make
to
the
cultivate
case.
this.
Let me make the case.
Oh, yeah,
Will you
just
allow
made
me to
your
speak,
case.
brother? Come
You
on,
just
man.
made your
Come on.
case.
No.
Shout out to Zippy the Assembly. Welcome.
No, you haven't made the case. If you think I've made the case, then you're not interested in dialogue.
You just said this brother over here said this.
You're very, very different than Brother Charlie, man. You're very different than Charlie, though, man.
I want to say that's a fashion choice. I want to say that's a fashion choice. It's a bad one, but I have to assume that.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I can
it's
make
red
a
wing
case
for you
for
to
that,
people
too.
like you that got that man killed, sir.
No.
Yes.
Wasn't me. Everybody's shaggy now.
Fascists.
Everybody's shaggy now. Wasn't me.
But Piers, why you have a brother on who's not gonna allow nobody to speak, man? We just wasting time. If all you're interested in is making your money, and you bring this brother on it, and nobody can say a word, and
it's like, to make money. Like, I'm making bank right now. Everybody's gonna cover this, Cornell. What you asking me?
And we can't even mourn Brother Charlie passing. I had dialogues with Brother Charlie. This brother's gonna say, "Oh, this kumbaya and so forth." No, Charlie was made in the image of a loving and mighty God. I believe that. I say my prayers for Sister Erica and the kids because this brother wants to trash my Christian sensibility. And look at him laughing now. It's a joke, man. Pierce, it's not worth it. The
Is
dialogue
Charlie
not
Kirk
worth it.
part
Not
of the
with this brother.
neo-fascist
Not
movement?
with this
Is he
brother.
part of your
Listen,
neo-fascist
not with
movement?
this brother.
Yeah.
When
Run
Charlie
away. Run away.
himself
Run away.
says that he is against Civil Rights Act, does that make him a proponent of Jim Crow? When he
No. Do you know why he said that? Do you know why he said that? I'm pretty sure I have it pulled. Oh fuck, I didn't have it pulled up. Fuck, I had it somewhere. I don't have it pulled up. But what he was saying is that, of course, we want everybody to be treated equally under the law. But the Civil Rights Act has been taken too far and abused. But let's not worry about what he actually said, right? CD said, I want Jack to speak. Jack worked hand in hand with Charlie. So if you want to see the whole thing, Jack gets his own thing at the beginning. We watched a little bit of it, and he had a lot of good things to say. I did see that. She cried on. I thought it was before this, but either way, about Charlie, and that's why I do. I think that she is somewhat genuine. It's just that she's not willing to accept the sins of her past. Like, if you want to move forward, then you have to reconcile what you've done in the past. And when you were part of this, when you were, spearheading this, even if you've changed now, that doesn't mean everybody clearly that listened to you then is going to change with you. All the backlash that you got from not wanting to be a birthing person, yeah, all those people were radicalized. Largely in part because of the words that came out of your face, Anna.
Against Civil Rights Act, does that make him a proponent of Jim Crow? When he calls Martin Luther King Jr. an awful human being and a scumbag? I'm critical of that. I am critical of that. You're absolutely right, Brother Wilson. You're absolutely right. But if all you're going to do is be arrogant, you're arrogant just like the so-called leftists you're talking about. But Piers, you making your money, brother.
So they are arrogant. Okay.
Go on and make your money, man.
It's all about making.
Not worth it.
Cornell,
this brother
it's all
right
about
here
making money.
Part of the problem. This other brother who has a deep connection to Charlie, he's willing to at least listen. But this brother's not willing to listen.
Cornell, can you sit down? I would like you to remain part of the debate.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. He's smoking his cigarettes with his arrogant self. Come on, man. We don't have enough.
How dare you?
How dare you smoke while I speak? Have you never seen Piers Morgan before? I'm pretty sure you've been on the show, Cornell. Like, what did you think you were signing up for?
A dialogue at all.
Surely you're not going to walk out in a debate about dialogue.
Go on and make your money, man.
Right. Well, there's a kind of farcical to quit a debate where we're literally debating about the importance of free speech and being able to listen to each other's opinions, which seems to me completely insane. Anyway, we've lost Cornel West for now. Maybe we'll get him back. Well, Andrew Wilson referred to Destiny's insane tweets a little earlier, which were disavowed by Anna Kasparian. Well, Destiny joins us now.
Oh, my God. And yes, I promised you guys that I would not cover Destiny anymore unless it was serious. And this is serious. It is, I mean, that's the only way. That's the only way you can say it. And I don't know what you're referring to, Equality, but it's a perfect time to say it. You think you know him, but you don't know Jack. Here we go.
Destiny, you've been quite active on social media since Charlie Kirk's death. When Erica Kirk posted Charlie's coffin, you responded, she tagged him, brackets, crying face emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags.
Here's the tweet. It's the comment. Oh, she tagged him because the tag is here. It's like, yeah, because he has a bigger profile and not a lot of people who follow Charlie follow his wife, because why the fuck am I going to follow Charlie Kirk's wife? So if you tag Charlie, then it's more likely that followers of Charlie, the actual one who did the political activism, we'll see it. Oh, but you know that, right? Because you're terminally online. So you're just taking the piss, right? It just got more Adderall in here. It's Vyvanse. No, I don't really know.
Emojis. In response to Alina Haber's tweet ordering people to fly their flags a half-mast in memory of Charlie, you posted on X buying flags and poles just to fly them fully erect. And you then posted yesterday, ending every conservative debate call out I do in 2026 with "Don't dodge, bro." That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the
like jokes, like like he didn't get to dodge the bullet? Oh my God, he's so funny and so cool and so amazing. Loser. My goodness. Shout out to Box with the $10. Thank you so very, very much. My goodness. Said, I would just like to point out that Destiny went back to being moderate on his stream right after this. He is playing a role. He does it for subs, and he got hella clicks this week. Bingo. That is precisely why it's even worse than if he actually really believed this stuff. It's even worse. He knows that he can just be the person, this person, and get money, and it doesn't matter to him what happens when millions of people, children, are watching him. Like, come on, man. Thank you again, Box, the new co-sponsor of the stream.
That's not what Charlie would have wanted. I mean, do you think that your response to the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate?
I didn't even realize, guys, we are halfway to the Swoggle, thanks to Box, Dixon, and TV Bierski. Guys, we are almost there. Thank you so very, very much. Let's hear from this fucking
To the cold-blooded murder of Charlie Kirk has been appropriate.
Yes. I think that the only way this country moves forward into a better world is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side.
Oh, we need to turn the temperature down. We need to stop oh, wait, no, that's your side. Stupid. That's your side. Jesus Christ.
World is when conservatives can finally realize that they need to turn the temperature down on their side. We are 10 years into whatever this Trump madness is, and there is not a single mainstream conservative that will call for a lowering of the temperature on their side. I think that liberals need to wake up and finally realize that if they're not willing to do it, it will never come down. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term. Every time he's in office, this happens. People joked about when Biden came in, it was so boring, nothing was going on. 7 out of 10 of the largest protests in American history have happened under Donald Trump. All of the recent political violence that's happened in this country over the past 20 years, the majority of it, the overwhelming majority of it, everybody gets mad because they keep asking Grok about it, has been conservative.
Who shot Charlie Kirk?
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family who was a
Didn't you grow up in a Christian conservative family?
Stupid.
A guy from Utah who was raised in a Christian family who was a 22-year-old
guy described
He wasn't
Destiny.
trans. He didn't have a trans girlfriend. He didn't have any trans influences. He didn't have any trans bullets. Yeah, I'm sorry. You guys were wrong on all of that.
To be clear.
Were we though? Were we though?
The governor of Utah, Spencer Cox, has made it clear that their investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this. That's just
I'm sorry. Excuse me. When?
Yesterday, he said that.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he...
Wait. Destiny. Do you think that you can only be radicalized at college? Do you think your streams and Hassan's streams are not accessible except from college campuses? What are you talking about? In fact, it would make more sense that if he wasn't in school, that he would have more time to be watching shit like what comes out of your face. What is the logic here? What? When was he radicalized? He only went to college for 6 months. He's only 30 years old or 20 years old or whatever the fuck it is. But there's no time to radicalize a 20-year-old. Stupid. I have no words.
No. When was he radicalized? In the 6 months that he did remote college?
I don't know when he was radicalized, but I do know the very reasonable sounding governor of Utah has made it clear that the you may not want to hear this.
Ongoing investigation.
You may not want to hear it, Destiny, but the reality is the investigators, according to the governor of Utah, have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology.
Yep. And JL saying, so this guy's just arguing to be a contrarian? Yes. But while you can see that, and I can see that, there is a huge population of people who don't see it that way. They buy into the character that he's putting on right now. You see him as the contrarian. I see him as the contrarian. But the people who literally want to suck his dick don't see that. They're like, oh, he's based. He's telling it like it is. That's the problem. That is the problem.
Utah have established that he was radicalized to a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just...
That's what I was going to say as well. Like, I think I saw a stat with that it's like 74% of political violence is right-wing. Like, no, it's not. Unless we're using words as violence. Like, that's not a thing at all. And I dare you to list 3 incidences of right-wing violence. You can't, bro. You can't. Why does it matter when he was radicalized? He fucking shot somebody on the opposite political side. Yeah, it's like, no, he wasn't. Because obviously the argument there from Destiny is, are you sure? I don't think he was radicalized. It doesn't matter that he shot somebody in the fucking neck. When did he get radicalized? I don't know, but very clearly he was. Very, very clearly.
To a leftist ideology that drove him to murder Charlie Kirk. Now, let me just ask you.
That's just not true.
Let me just ask
no
you.
way to deal with it.
Okay,
You're living in a
accusing the governor of lying.
Yeah.
That's your prerogative. But
sure.
If it turns out to have been somebody with a leftist ideology who wanted to shut up Charlie Kirk, would you condemn that?
I won't condemn anything until the president of the United States can go on air and say, all of us need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
So that is textbook TDS. I need Donald Trump to say that murder is wrong before I can say murder is wrong.
What?
I thought you thought that Donald Trump was the worst thing ever. So why are you taking your moral cues from him? He did say it was a bad thing, obviously, but that's besides the point. Let's say he didn't. Do you think it's okay to do something because Donald Trump does it, or vice versa? Or are you a human being with him? Oh, I guess not.
Donald need to calm down.
So you won't condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk until Donald Trump says something.
I'm a YouTuber. Leftists and Democrats have been condemning and turning down the temperature, condemning violence, turning down the temperature for a decade. Donald Trump can't go on TV and say, all of us need to calm down.
Right.
Can you tell me why he cannot?
Why would you expect anybody, Destiny?
You can't answer that. Can you answer that question? Why can't Trump
you
go
answer
on TV
this
and say,
question?
all of us should be less violent.
Why do you
can't
think
Trump say that?
Why do you
Why
think
is your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
Insane right now.
Why do you think?
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. I wish I could give you more props, except that you just fucking lied to my face. But yeah,
Trump say that.
Why do you
Why
think
is your behavior contingent on Donald Trump?
Insane right now.
Why do you
is
think?
your
No, let me
behavior
ask a
contingent
question.
on Donald Trump?
Let me ask a question.
Because he's the president of the United States of America and the leader of the opposing political party.
Destiny. Let me
You
just.
have a huge audience of young men who
I'm a
listen to
YouTuber
everything you have to
who
say.
has more
So
young
when
men
you,
following
it
him.
doesn't matter.
Who
You
has
have a
more young-
huge
it doesn't
audience,
matter.
and because
So let me get this straight. When the whole Dave Smith and Douglas Murray thing was going on, oh, you're just a comedian, you're out here talking about this and influencing people. But now when it's you and we're actually talking about specific events, I'm just a YouTuber. See, it's the, again, projection. Because that is something Dave Smith has never done. Said some abhorrent shit or even incorrect shit. And then when he's called out on it, well, I'm just a comedian. But for some reason, that gets thrown at him. Maybe it's because of people like you, Destiny. You duplicitous fuck.
you have to say. So when it doesn't matter. You have a huge audience. And because of the fact that you have a huge audience, you have a...
And as somebody who unfortunately saw that video, he does. Oh, wait, no, he was sucking a tiny dick. Anyway.
responsibility to not turn... No, it hasn't. It hasn't been broken. I actually care about the country and want to bring people to...
Projection. Maybe Anna's brain did get broken from people on Twitter, but like, homie, you are not the one to say that. You have had the worst year of anyone who's ever been on Twitter, ever.
together.
If
You
then
do the
you should tell
opposite.
Donald
You
Trump to
represent
tell
the
people
worst
to
of us,
be
Destiny.
less
You're
violent.
embarrassing.
You should tell
You're
Donald.
embarrassing.
All right, let me ask
Watch how
Destiny
easy
a
this is.
question.
Watch how easy this
No,
is.
hang on.
If
Donald
Trump
shut
would've
up
come out
once,
and say-
please.
If Donald Trump would have come out
Destiny,
and say, "Hey, we should all be less violent,"
Destiny,
I have no problem saying.
I have one
absolutely.
question for you,
Why
Destiny.
can't conservatives do that? Why
Destiny.
can't conservatives do that?
Destiny.
Wait, what? Dave got to start after lessons were learned? He gets no props for censoring himself. What? I don't know what that means.
I have a question for you. Why do you think in your campaign for everyone to dial down the temperature, why do you think that mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image?
Because Paul Pelosi! Because Paul Pelosi! Trump did it, so I do everything Trump does, even though I hate him!
Mocking the grieving widow of Charlie Kirk when she posts an image of her at the coffin side. Why do you think that constitutes turning down the temperature?
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United States is
inflame the
not
temperature.
able.
Yeah, right. You definitely can turn the temperature up, and you can sure as shit try. You can sure as shit try. Quality said, how many actual examples are there of conservative assassins or mass shooters? I couldn't tell you. And we both know, we all know that it will be front page news. It will be talked about all fucking week. So take that for what you will.
You can't turn down the temperature on your own. The president of the United
I'm just a YouTuber.
You
States is
inflame the
not
temperature.
able
You're
to-
mocking
no,
his
it's
widow.
already inflamed.
You're
What are you
mocking his
talking
widow.
about? We've had multiple political assassinations over the past year. What do you mean it's turning up the temperature?
Why did you
to
mock his
advertise
widow?
Online?
Oh, so everybody is acting insane. So it's okay for me to act insane. What? That's are you sure you want to stick on that? You sure you want to stick on that? So Boggs is saying, I'm saying Dave would have questionable takes if he was doing a show as long as Anna. Times were different. Bro. This is sad, man. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Ever.
Because
Why
she's
did you mock
being
his
wielded
widow?
as because she's being used as a political weapon right now
Wow.
for conservatives to continue their fight. What do you mean? Wow, she's literally doing
Her
recruitment
husband just got
ads
murdered.
on email. Yeah, and she's using it to drive up recruitment for
And
a
you
political
can't even
movement.
condemn the murder. You
The
won't condemn
president
it.
can't even tell his side
You're
to
so
turn the temperature
deranged
down.
about Trump
You are,
that you
are
cannot condemn the
unhinged.
murder
It is such
because
a
you're
joke,
waiting
and
for
you guys
Donald
sit here
Trump
and
to say
make money
something.
off of it. It's
All right, let me bring
crazy
in
to me that
Jack.
Republicans can't
Let me
do
bring
it.
in. Let me bring in
What a
Jack
joke of the
Posobiec.
world.
I gotta
And there will
say,
be there's still no answer to that question, Piers. You can't say
Which question?
Why can't Donald Trump simply go on TV and say we all need to turn it down?
Fine.
Like,
Okay, so fine. I'll give you that. Yeah. Let's have Donald Trump go down on TV and say, everybody, left, right, power, no power, YouTuber, influencer, everybody needs to chill the fuck out. Okay, fine. I am 100% behind that message. Now what, Destiny? Are you going to delete those tweets? Are you going to apologize? Are you going to say that you didn't want to say those things? Are you going to take them back? You're going to walk it back? Of course not! Because you're a performative little fuck.
Biden could, like Obama could,
Fine.
like the Clintons could, like Kamala could. Why
Fine.
not?
why can't you condemn the murder of
See,
Charlie
it's
Kirk?
unbelievable. I'm not the president
Why
of the United
can't
States.
you
answer that
condemn
question.
the
It's
murder of Charlie Kirk?
Unbelievable to me.
Why can't you condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk?
Because it wasn't my side that caused it. It should be
Yes,
the
it
one
was.
that is driving up
It
the
actually
rhetoric.
was your side that caused it.
And even if it wasn't your side, all we're asking is for you to say that it's bad that a person who speaks their opinions for a living, you know, like you, should not be murdered for that. That's it.
It
This
was
an
your
18
side.
This guy was raised in a white
He was
Christian
a
household,
radicalized
in a Christian
leftist
state.
ideology.
He wasn't radicalized by leftism at all. You have no proof of that whatsoever.
That's what
Just
the
like
investigation.
I don't know. How about the fact that he shot somebody on the right? That's pretty radical, Destiny.
Gators are
Melissa
saying.
was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
He was not
conservatives,
a
just like the Proud
conservative, he was
Boys
a
were conservative.
pro-Palestinian
Every
activist.
And we gotta go back to January 6th. But I think I interrupted Jack Posobiec here. What was he saying? What was he saying?
whatsoever.
That's what
just
the
like one that killed
investigators are
Melissa
saying.
Was a conservative, just like the people that firebombed Shapiro's house was a conservative, just like all the J6ers were
He was not a
conservatives, just like the Proud
conservative, he was
Boys
a
were conservative.
pro-Palestinian activist
Every
out of
single one of
Harrisburg.
every single one of these people. Oh, it's Jack Posobiec, what the author of Unhuman, another person that Charlie's
another
One, dude.
Well, I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you are
Kirk.
acting like a
Why,
non-human.
why can't I hear Donald Trump
Because you were against
condemn
humanity.
violence
So,
in this
all
country?
right, you
Why
won't
can't I
condemn
hear
it. Okay,
I
we've all
can't hear it.
heard.
That's insane.
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And we've
condemn it.
heard Donald Trump
You
refuse.
shouldn't. You shouldn't want to try. What about Destiny makes you want to try to defend him? And I completely understand. I disagree, but completely understand. We are not taught when it comes to Destiny, we're not talking about somebody who we have political disagreements with. We are talking about somebody who is fundamentally a degenerate criminal. We're not talking about I think this, but he thinks I think the best way to achieve this goal in society is that, and he thinks the best way to achieve the same goal is that. He talks about hot 15-year-olds and shares CP for the lulz.
To condemn it
Jack
too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah. What's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president.
Nobody cares what you find sickening, because what you don't find sickening, we all find sickening, Destiny. For you to talk about what you find sickening. Oh, I've seen what you like, so what you don't like matters not to me. Not even a little bit.
I find that sickening. Jack Posobiec.
I find it sickening that when people are getting killed in the country, the president of the United States on Fox and Friends, when they're begging him, what do you say to your followers that want revenge? He says, I don't know, all the elections are rigged. It's the radical Democrats. That's insane to me. And then the fixation is, well, who on Twitter and YouTube isn't condemning the violence?
All right, Jack Posobiec.
Nobody, no. This isn't because you didn't condemn the violence. That came up now because of the other things. You were celebrating violence. You were celebrating the violence. That's a different thing.
You have a great example here of the type of cancer I'm talking about, where when you present direct information, they refuse, they obfuscate, they refute, they say it's not true, they lie. You could see from the bullet casings, you could see from postings, you could see from everything out there that it's very clear what happened here. This is the same people who supported President Trump almost getting assassinated twice last year, Corey Capatore being assassinated
By
last year
conservatives.
in a situation. Again, see, just lies. That's all they do. They talk over. They don't even let you give a chance to speak. And something needs to be done, Piers. Something absolutely needs to be done. This ideology should be shamed, humiliated, driven from the public discourse.
See, I mean, you don't want to interrupt when Jack's going after Destiny, but Andrew is definitely one who doesn't let you talk as well. But we'll put that to the side. Liberty Plus TV said Destiny is irredeemable. The right, who are extreme, have legitimate complaints. Destiny and leftists have a delusional worldview and cannot be reasoned with, and do not respect property or human life. Yeah, I mean, the extreme right is still bad, but the extreme right is a misguided group of people who want the right thing. The extreme left wants to tear down everything that is important and cherished by our society. Like said, cheer for George Floyd's 7th year of sobriety, like that kind of cheering. Yeah, I mean, completely different situations, but yeah.
I mean, you've got people who have completely dissociated with humanity because all they care about are clicks and YouTube streams and likes. Go to the casket, go to the gravesite, go talk to the widow. I don't even know how to discuss this with someone who's completely lost all touch with reality.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't, bro. You can't.
And what's Jack's answer to why can't the president say we should all be less violent?
Right. Because you can't even condemn the cold-blooded execution of Charlie
Donald Trump
Kirk.
turns on Destiny.
I don't think you're in the
YouTube,
position
and he
to
says, "I
demand
wonder what
anything from
Destiny's saying
anybody
on YouTube." That's how I'm going to take my.
You're
my
not in any
pointers, but
position
really?
to condemn anything.
Objection. So you see how stupid of an idea it is to connect. I'm going to do this only because Donald Trump did or didn't do this. You can see that. But that's not what Jack was saying. He was just, Piers said that and was drawing the connection to what you wouldn't say. And then you got triggered And now you're making the argument against your own argument.
Stupid.
Demand anything from anybody
on YouTube. That's how I'm going to take my.
You're
my
not in any
pointers,
position
really?
to condemn anybody for anything. You won't
absolutely
condemn a
am, because he's the
cold-blooded
president
murder.
of the United States. He's the president of the United States. No one here can answer that question.
Basic
Why Donald
humanity
Trump-
says
why
the murder
Donald Trump,
was
the president,
horrific.
Can't say
Why can't
all
you
of us
say
need
it?
to be less violent.
Why can't you
Democrats
say
have been
it,
saying
Destiny?
for over a decade.
To say the murder was horrific and
Why
unacceptable.
can't Donald Trump say it?
You
Why-
can't do
why
it,
does
can
no one
you?
here have any words for Donald Trump?
All right, Anna
What do you have for
Kasparian.
Donald Trump.
It is different. There was no immorality that caused the death of George Floyd. Name me the immoral act that caused George Floyd to die. Oh, you can't. Now name me the immoral act that caused Charlie Kirk to die. Oh, somebody took a gun and shot him in the neck for speaking his opinions. They are definitely different situations. And still, I am agreeing with you. Okay, you can move the goalpost if you want, but it is a different situation.
Nothing exactly.
Anna Kasparian, this, to me, this is what I'm talking about. That I think there is an element.
Yeah, right. As if, I'm just gonna call it equality. Said, why the fuck would blue hairs want Trump to condemn the high temperature when leftists hate everything that Trumpster says? Yeah, they probably be like, oh, he's just saying that as a dog whistle because he actually wants you to do more. He's just pandering.
Exactly. Anna Kasparian, this, to me, this is what I'm talking about. That I think there is an element of the left, the hard woke left, that have completely lost their minds. If you are not able to just outright simply condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk, and if you cannot stop yourself from mocking his grieving widow, you are sick, as I've just seen from Destiny. It's a
sick thing
mindset.
is weaponizing a widow's grief to try to do recruitment for your political party. That's probably one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen.
So yet again, mask off. See, what you're doing is for your political party. What we're doing is just acting like human beings that are reacting to a thing that happened. You think everything is performative because everything that you do is performative. Projection. Guys, don't forget about the goal. We are already halfway there, and Morty is very hungry.
Showing up in emails for recruitment drives for TP USA.
Destiny?
24
What did
would
you
I
think
expect
the
for somebody whose
assassination
husband
of a
was just
political
killed? I
figure
would
would
say you'd
do?
probably
What did
take-
you think the outcome was going to be? What did you think the
what do you-
outcome was? And
hold
by
on,
the
I'm
way,
sorry, are you asking me
really,
for the
your
pragmatic political outcome, or are you
behavior?
asking
Hold
me
on,
for-
let me. Hey,
You're
how
asking me a
about
question,
take it
so I
easy
didn't know
on
it
the
was rhetorical.
Adderall? Take it easy on the Adderall, and let me answer the question that Piers
sorry,
asked me.
you must have been really
Okay,
bullied today. I
My
guess.
behavior,
Let Anna speak, please.
my behavior is not
Got him.
reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions.
Well, that's because he didn't. But when they told us he died, yeah, nobody cried because he was a horrible fucking person. I think all death is bad, but that doesn't mean that there's worse bad. Yeah, there's worse bad, and okay, bad because of the sanctity of life is unique, and that's a unique thing that goes away and never comes back again. Yeah, sure. I'm sure that there was some type of positive aspects of Jeffrey Epstein. I don't think that anybody is pure evil, but there's a reason why nobody cried if and when he died. There's a reason that we think differently about a criminal who gets himself into a situation and then passes away from his own decisions. And we see that differently than somebody who was just trying to do a service to America and was blasted out of life. That did not happen to George Floyd. No matter how many fucking times you want to cry about it, no matter how many fucking riots you want to do, no matter how many firebombing buildings you want to do, it's not the same fucking thing.
About how I choose to react or respond to things. I don't
wait. I want to hear them.
Here is not reliant on how anyone else behaves. Every morning I wake up and I make decisions about how I choose to react or respond to things.
I said shit. Me too. And that is why I disagree with the 75% of you that said the left is our enemy. That is surface level, first order thinking that you think you understand a thing. You don't. You are wrong.
I don't wake up in the morning, check what Donald Trump has to say, and then base my own personal behavior on his behavior.
Like a fucking loser. What? Oh my God. Oh, that's half the country.
I agree with you in that it would be very helpful to have the leader of this country want to turn the temperature down. And he hasn't done that. I agree with you on that. But that doesn't change the way I choose to respond to what's going on. The idea of mocking a woman who is now a widow with 2 young children who witnessed her husband get shot in the neck and bleed out to death. How could you mock that? What is wrong with you? I just don't understand it. That's it. I don't understand it. I don't understand you, Destiny. You have so much hatred in your heart, and at the same time, you
it's such a simple thing. If you're going to
hateful.
weaponize somebody's grief against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve.
Again, this is just cope. You are deciding that people genuinely feeling grief from watching, as Box just said, watching somebody die in 4K, that it's performative. No, this is real fucking life, dude. You don't respawn like your fucking video games.
Grieve against the other party, well, then of course people have a right to fight back against it. I think that she has every right to grieve in whatever way she wants, but when that grief is going to be weaponized to do recruitment, political recruitment, and further radicalization of the other side, then of course you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
All right, guys, I am way too nice to you motherfuckers. I watch other streamers and, you know, when they don't get money, they fucking yell at you. And I'm not going to do that. But I am going to say this is staying up until we get another donation.
Side, then of course you not only have the ability to mock it, I think you have the obligation to mock it. It's insane.
Let me understand. Let me understand your argument. So since others are using her grief to politically recruit, you think that it's okay to mock her specifically?
Since others are using her grief, she's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she
How dare she speak on her husband's platform that just got blasted to hell? Well, how dare she?
Others are using her grief. She's the one who gave a 17-minute speech on TV where she talked about good versus evil. She's the one showing up in
Destiny,
TPUSA ads to 1 or 2 days after.
If someone assassinated my husband, I would not be able to have the level of composure she had during that speech. I would be out for blood. I understand why she's angry and why she said the things that she said. Okay, you need to understand what being a human is, what it's like to actually lose someone that you love, that you chose to spend your life with, that you chose to raise children with, a person who was violently and viciously assassinated like that.
Actually, I disagree with you here as well. Box says, without the left, you have one party, and have one party is called an autocracy. We need 2 wings for a bird. Well, I disagree with you because as we are seeing, there's a huge split on the right, and there's going to be the Republicans and MAGA, and that is going to be its own party. So we will have the 2 parties. It's just that this current form of left-wing degeneracy will not be a thing.
This is why I've moved away.
And when something
identifying as
you got bullied online. It's so funny. It's so funny that you just said that you don't think about how other people act to define your behavior. Your entire political ideology now is somehow defined by the people that were mean to you on Twitter.
No,
if somebody cares about somebody who's grieving,
I understood
you tell that
what
person,
the flaws on the left happen to be. The weakness in their arguments. No, it's not about the way I get treated. I get treated like crap from both sides of the political aisle.
You do mass recruitment for our political party while everyone over here is calling for civil war. It's unhinged. When you've got people like Matt Walsh and the Daily Wire,
we're talking to a guy who said he'd be okay with his own parents getting killed if they went to that Trump rally where that assassination attempt
we're
happened.
talking to a woman who went on and did the whole conservative media outlet with Tucker Carlson and Glenn Beck and had nothing bad to say whatsoever. I know where your bread is buttered. I know where you're making your money from.
And it was great. I had awesome conversations. I don't regret it at all.
That's great.
I also had a conversation with Jack Posobiec on her take. It was awesome.
You guys don't want to see this? You guys are. I'm watching. It's pretty good. You should probably want to watch this.
I know.
That's what democracy is about. Having an exchange of ideas.
All right, let me bring in.
I don't agree with him on everything, but at least we can have dialogue.
Anna, you're completely right, by the way. Anna is completely right. And the irony of Charlie Kirk is that he led the way in going in to debate with people who hated him and he would
No,
try and
he
have
didn't.
respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up
Well,
on college students.
unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
your
So do you.
argument. Yeah.
Let me bring in
so
Andrew
do you.
Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You go to college.
Hey, shout out to Box. Keeping the party raging. Feeding Morty. And send Morty more than the video, but for both. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much, sir. That is 4 out of 15 and 27 out of 50. We are getting close, guys. We can definitely do this. We can definitely do this. Everybody hit the like on that super chat for Box. Now we can see Anna's pretty face as she gets mad.
And respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up
Well,
on college students.
unlike
That's all
you,
he
Destiny.
did. Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me-
Wilson.
Yeah, but also remember that he didn't go to college, and I'm pretty sure he didn't finish high school. So it's not beating up. He's going to people. That's like what? Because he's older? I thought this education stuff was so important. But if he can just beat up on these college kids without even having finished high school, then what exactly are you talking about?
The way in going in to debate with people who hated him, and he would
No,
try and
he
have
didn't.
respectful
Charlie
dialogue.
Kirk beat up
Well,
on college students.
unlike
That's all
you,
he did.
Destiny.
Let's be
Let me
real.
bring
Unlike
Andrew
me,
Wilson
I'm
in.
your
So do you.
argument. Yeah.
Let me bring in
So
Andrew
do you.
Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You're going to college. You're
Charlie
going on a
Kirk
college
is
tour
trying to
right
hold higher
now.
level.
Yeah, he's on a college tour right now. But it's okay for me. Rules for thee, but not for me. No principles, just positions.
Wilson.
So do you. You beat up on college students. You're going on a college tour.
Charlie
You're going on a
Kirk is
college
trying to
tour
hold
right
higher
now
level
to
debate
beat
than
up
you guys
on
do.
college students. What are you talking about, Destiny? That's what you're doing right this second is going on a college tour to go beat up on college students. By the way, can I just ask you a question?
I don't
Yes or no?
exclusively beat up on college.
Can you actually answer? Can you actually answer? Hang on, calm down. I just got one question.
Oh, so Charlie Kirk has never debated anybody but college students?
I got one question for you, and I want you to actually answer it. Are you glad Charlie Kirk is dead?
No, I don't think anybody in this country should be dying to political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in
Then
this
just-
country has been crazy. But the reality
So
is,
then-
until
Okay,
conservatives
and so do you think the average person that is watching this interview, or how you are on your fucking your regular stream or whatever, do you think the average person that is watching this can understand that you do in fact think it's bad for people to be assassinated? Probably not. Well, I know it's not my fault. It's not my job to educate you. Blah 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 blah. One more. Shut up! Hey, Box, again. With the $5. Thank you. Said it's okay to talk to college kids. Professors are older for a reason. It's also the fact that the notion of college being so important means that if you are in college, you should be better at thinking than someone who hasn't gone to college. If that's not the case, then college isn't doing what it's supposed to do. But you're just beating up on college kids. And I mean, I think, fair enough. That's kind of why Steven Crowder, who really kind of kickstarted this whole prove me wrong thing with the change my mind segments. I think he moved away from the college campuses and he would just set up in random places. I think partly it was a security issue, but it also was to just be about anybody. And I think a college campus is a good place because that's where people are. It's not easy to just find people that are willing to have political discussions in the middle of their day. People have shit to do. People are going places. People are going to work. People are going to their family. So like if you just set up on a corner somewhere, yeah, you might get a few people that stop by. But you go to college because that's where people are. You fucking retard.
political violence. It's insane. The past 5 years in this country has been crazy. But the reality is, until conservatives,
so then why did you say to your co-host that Trump deserved a bullet? Why did you tell him that?
Until conservatives have to say, hey, we all need to be less violent, there's no purpose in Democrats doing it, because every time Democrats disavow, you further entrench your guys' delusional beliefs that all the violence is coming on the left. Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go.
That's not a call to violence. Just because you want to stretch and obfuscate the semantic to try to push your narrative, that is not a call to violence. Clunky words, sure. But that's not the same thing as a call to violence.
Left. Donald Trump can go on TV. He can say, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. They can go on Parler and say, we heard you. They can go to the Capitol and break in and try to insurrect. They can get convicted in front of a jury, and then Donald Trump can pardon them, and we can come out and go, hey, guys, why aren't Democrats disavowing violence? And pretend that the problem is coming from the left. Democrats do a disservice to this country by disavowing violence constantly when the president of the United States
Let me respond
won't go on
quickly.
TV and say, all of
Let
us
me
need to be
respond
less
quickly,
violent. How
Destiny.
easy would
So
that
the
be?
thing is, why did you say to your co-host
Yeah, keep focusing
that
on me.
the
Keep
bullet
focusing on me.
that the
I'm
bullet
not here to
that
play-
the bullet was for Trump? Why did you say to your co-host
why did
that
Donald
the
Trump-
best
why did
place for the
Donald Trump
bullet
call
was Trump?
Kamala
Why did
a
you say that?
fascist? Why did Donald Trump call
It's a
everyone fascist? If
whataboutism.
that's what's causing people to
Whataboutism.
go- Yeah,
I'm
that's what
asking
you're
you
doing
a
right
question.
Now. Whataboutism. The
I can't be a
conversation is about
whataboutism
what I
if
said
it's
during
my
the
question,
conversation.
Destiny.
Why won't Donald Trump disavow
Answer
violence in the
answer the
United States?
question.
All right, why
did
don't
you
we
say
do
that?
this? Why don't we
Why
do
did you say
this?
that?
Why don't we do this
Such an
before I
easy-
cut
such an easy
mics?
question.
Because you don't care.
Destiny,
You don't care that Kirk's dead. Just
Destiny,
be honest,
allow
you fuck.
Andrew,
Just be honest, you fuck.
allow Andrew to repeat his question and let him ask the question. Then you answer it, okay, Andrew?
No, I want to hear the other
No,
side first.
let him
See what
ask
I
the
mean?
question.
Donald Trump
Let him
disavow
ask
violence in
the
this
question, Destiny, and then you answer it. Andrew.
Destiny told his co-host when asked point blank if he wanted the bullet to kill Trump, that the worst thing that could have happened was the bullet missing. He said this to Pisco. I watched it. Okay, this guy's an obfuscation machine.
Fucking piss guy. Of course it's piss guy. God damn it.
Pisco, I watched it. Okay, this guy's an obfuscation machine. And
Yep.
if you know what else, Destiny,
Yep.
why should we believe you? I think
If you hate semantic obfuscation like you've been seeing here so much, you can get your very own phone case, or you can get a mug, or you can get a sticker of this or any of the designs at TheIndianJesus.com. Head over for your very own official merch. Stop. Semantic obfuscation is the worst thing that we have. Okay, I'm gonna let them go for a little bit. We have some other stuff that I want to show you, but they're kind of cooking, so I'm gonna let them cook.
obfuscation machine. And if you know what else, Destiny, why should we believe you? I think you are glad Kirk is dead. And all of your tweets seem to prove that. And you would have been happy if Trump was assassinated.
Exactly.
You've made that very
Liberty. Like, what is the argument? What are you saying?
clear. So why not just be truthful for once in your fucking life and say the
miserable
truth that you don't care that Kirk is dead, and you're actually probably glad he is. Isn't that really what's true?
Probably.
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence.
You sure? Because that's not what you said before. You said if you go to these things, then you deserve to die. So which one is it? Methinks you are being performative, both also to be the biggest asshole possible, and also, guys, I'm not that bad. I'm pretty reasonable. I just tell it like it is. I'm gonna say the stuff that nobody else is willing to say.
What's true?
I don't want anybody in this country to die to political violence. I don't think in the United States of America that should be happening. I don't know why it's so hard for the president to say the same. I think it'd be the easiest thing in the world as a president. Biden did it for 4 years. That's why everything was way cooler when he was here, like in terms of temperature. The Clintons have no problem saying it. Barack Obama has no problem saying it. Kamala Harris has come out and said it. Every Democratic lawmaker and leader has basically come out and said it. But for some reason on the Republican side, it's just civil war, civil war, civil war. And the Republican...
What do you think, and again, Destiny, what do you think is meant when people on the right are saying civil war? Are we saying, yay, yay, let's have a civil war? No, we're saying, look what's going on. We need to stop this because it's going to lead to a civil war. Because of people like you.
President of the United States, who has presided over more violence politically in this country, more large protests than any president in all of U.S. history, for some reason can't bring himself to say, all of us need to calm down. And
so
until
did
that
Trump
happens,
deserve
there's no
the bullet?
reason for anyone to say it.
Did Trump
This is-
deserve
well,
the
yeah,
bullet?
This is all you care about are the political hit jobs.
Just answer the question, bro. Did Trump deserve the bullet?
Did Donald Trump
Did he deserve
disavow
the
violence
bullet?
on his side ever? Did Donald Trump
Answer
disavow
the
violence on his
question.
side
Did
ever?
Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro,
to
it's
play-
my-
Whoa. The question is to you. Projection. You get asked a question. You're dodging the question. You won't even answer the question. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Question: Did Trump deserve the bullet?
You can't answer the question. We're here to play.
No, bro,
to
it's my turn to ask the question. It's your turn to answer.
It's
Did
YouTube video
Trump deserve
clips.
the
and it's-
bullet?
Did Trump disavow violence in this country ever?
Did he deserve the bullet? Yes, he's
Answer my
disavowed
question, I'll
violence.
answer you.
But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
And that is where Andrew is very good at this. Because you know, answering the question that Destiny is presenting doesn't derail the line of questioning that Andrew is giving. So just yes, he did. Okay, so now my question: stand on business. Stand on business. Some of you may have seen me debate Andrew and think that I don't like him, I hate him, or this, that, the other. I just think he did a really bad job at that entire thing. Search modern day debate, Andrew Wilson versus 5, and tell me I'm right.
Answer my question, I'll answer you.
But again, I just did. Now your turn. Now your turn. It's your turn.
Donald Trump.
Did Trump deserve the bullet?
I never said that. No, I never said that. No.
Okay, except you did to your co-host.
No, I didn't. Oh, wait. When did Donald Trump disavow? Wait. When did Donald Trump
your
disavow all
exact
violence in
words
this
to your
country?
co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he,
Now it's all violent. Now it's all violence. So again, removing the goalpost. You asked, has Donald Trump ever disavowed violence? The answer is yes. You still have not answered Andrew's question, and now you're, when was it all violence? I mean, when you say violence, it typically means all violence. You don't have to say all violence when you're saying, I don't like violence, we shouldn't do violence. That inherently means all violence, unless you're going to make a caveat of, I think we shouldn't do violence except XYZ. Then that would be an example of not all violence. But inherently, when you say violence, it includes all that is violence.
Stupid.
Wait. When did Donald Trump
your
disavow all
exact
violence in
words
this
to your
country?
co-host, you lying sack of shit. If he wanted
I'm the lying
to
sack
kill
of
Trump,
shit?
the
No
worst
way.
thing that could have happened
Donald Trump
was the
disavowed
bullet
all
missing.
political violence. And
That's what you said,
and this is
bro.
yeah. And this is where when you're putting YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States, this is why conservatives are absolutely.
Do they not have votes? Do you not have a vote? Let's put your influence on the political landscape aside. Do you not have a vote? Then what are we talking about? You are part of the conversation.
Putting YouTubers and tweeters on the same level as the president of the United States. This is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why I don't.
Rejection. That's you, bro. That's you.
President of the United States. This is why conservatives are absolutely brain broken when it comes to violence in this country. And that's why it'll continue.
But
There'll be more
Destiny,
deaths.
Destiny,
Maybe it'll be me at the next time. Who knows? There'll be
Well,
more
I do
people
agree
who
you
die.
want it to
And you
continue.
guys are all
Destiny.
going to turn around and be like, I can't believe it.
Destiny.
What's going on? What's happening here?
Destiny.
If you care so much about political violence in America, why don't
And just be better than Donald Trump? You can't be better than Donald Trump, the worst person ever, the damn near Hitler. You can't be better than that. Oh my goodness. That's again a mask off moment. You spend all of this time saying Trump is so bad, but I'm just like him. Well, is he so bad, or are you just like him? Or maybe you're projecting the whole time and it's actually you that is the asshole.
Here.
Okay, Destiny, if you care so much about political violence in America, why don't you lead the way yourself without mentioning anybody else? Why don't you? Why don't you, Destiny?
I was like, but Trump isn't saying what I want him to say. He didn't say exactly the words that I like, so it doesn't count.
Right now, just outright condemn the murder of Charlie Kirk.
Because we've been doing that for a decade. One side.
Have you though?
You can't do it, can
down
you?
the temperature.
You can't do it.
Can't turn down the temperature. If Donald Trump can't, then the left shouldn't until he does.
Got it.
Republicans
Okay, you don't want to do it.
need accountability
Okay,
for their actions. They need.
It's like it's such obvious cope to anybody who has 75 IQ points, but as we know, the left is not very smart.
Some responsibility for the insanity.
He had it coming,
Even though you take none yourself. Let me bring in Jack Posobiec.
We absolutely.
All right, that's enough, Destiny. I'll bring in Jack Posobiec.
Yeah,
Jack.
okay. Nice. Both sides it.
Jack.
Yeah.
What is your response to this?
I mean, Piers, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You know, this type of ideology where you've got someone who's willing to mock Erica, who's been standing strong for her family, for her children, who's just, she will never be able to grow old with Charlie. She will never be able to be with them again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have the.
Well, I was just saying this whole conversation is inflammatory. Cornel West was right to leave. I don't fully disagree, but I do think that it is important that we see that people as big as Destiny, and of course that means by virtue, all of his followers are potentially willing to be this kind of person. If you don't want this type of shit, then don't say this type of shit.
Again, have more children, to have grandchildren, to have those memories, to raise them. It's all gone. Every single moment of that future that they had was gone because someone fired a bullet at Charlie Kirk that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." And now you have people celebrating it. And when you ask people
That's
about
not even
it,
the
they
bullet
say,
that was fired.
"Oh,
How are you lying
oh,
about this?
Shut
even?
up, Destiny.
Holy
Shut up.
shit! You're so
Shut
shameless,
up.
dude. Oh my god! You're not even inside the right bullet. You're such a disgusting piece of shit.
It was a different bullet that he had that said, "Hey, fascist, catch." That's not the argument that you think it is, bro. That's not the argument that you think it is. He wrote "catch fascist" on a different bullet that he used to kill a political activist. What? How can you think that that is a thing that you should say right now? How can you think that that is a thing that you should be saying right now? Adderall. Lots and lots of Adderall. He's been very open about the fact that once he got on these medications, he's just fucking, this guy, he's that guy. That's what's up with the bottom lip. When Anna was like, chill on the Adderall, it wasn't just a dig. It's like, bro, you're fucking your life up. You're fucking your life up. This is honestly, this does remind me of like a bipolar person having a manic episode. I would not be surprised if he has BPD and this is a manic episode.
Holy fuck!
What a pedantic point.
What a
It's not pedantic. These guys are fucking professional liars.
It's total pedantry.
Wait, a professional what? A professional what? I need to hear that again.
Wait,
what a
It's not pedantic. These guys are fucking professional
total
liars.
A professional liar. Projection. I can't believe you really just said, that was a different bullet that he loaded into the gun that he killed a political activist. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, all right, dude.
Total pedantry. Total
This guy probably.
I would like to let
Jesus.
Jack. I would like to let Jack finish his point, please.
Yeah,
and they'll claim there's no leftist connection. They'll claim there's no there, and then go so far as to lie and say there's some kind of Christian conservative connection when you could see the writing on the bullet casings. And so, these are very common symbols associated, whatever. The point is, right, it should be very, very.
Frank, I think you got a little sand in your pussy. What are you still mad about the losing the Maverick status? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, it's cringe, man. Yikes.
Clear. See, whatever. The point is, right, it should be very, very clear. Are we connected with our humanity or are we not? And
Clearly
some
not.
people are willing to do that. Anna's been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good.
And again, that doesn't mean that we need to say, oh, well, Anna Kasparian is the greatest person ever now. We don't need to do that. All we need to do is acknowledge that Anna Kasparian is in some respect better, or let's say Anna Kasparian is better than a Destiny. They're both on the left. They both have bad ideas. They both spread bullshit propaganda. But an Anna Kasparian is better than a Destiny. Does anybody disagree with that statement?
Has been willing to do that. We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good. We've jousted. We've done the back and forth.
But he was only in college for 4 months. What are you talking about? How could he have been radicalized? Oh, like through the internet, like by people like Destiny.
We've done shows together. They've been fine. They've been good. We've jousted. We've done the back and forth. Destiny and I in the past have had shows together where before he kind of took this turn, and you think there are people who can just be willing to stand up for humanity.
Box, we're here. When I showed the trans maxing thing, you can definitely see a little bit more of that.
Jack, it reminds me a bit of the journey I've gone on, very different circumstances, but the Israel-Hamas war. The reason I asked everybody on the pro-Palestinian side for months after the war started, do you condemn what Hamas did, is I think it was very enlightening as to the humanity of the person by how they responded. If their immediate response was, of course I do, the mass murder of civilians on October the 7th was a horrendous atrocity, then we'd
be like, all right, bet. Now we can have a rational discussion.
We can move on to an intellectually honest debate. If they refuse to condemn what Hamas did, it's a completely different debate. And similarly, right now, I feel if you can't condemn a lot of what the IDF are doing, frankly, it's my opinion, in Gaza, then the same thing. If you're unequivocally like, it's all fine with 20,000 plus kids being killed, then I've got a problem with that too. But I do think you've got to try and maintain in all of these debates a modicum of humanity about people who are actually being killed. And what is terrifying about the mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is
Liberty Plus TV said, when I did meth, my life literally got better. It ruined everybody I knew at the time, though. Destiny definitely got a little amphetamine sex drive and exploited people. Crazy how much it tracks. I would say you're correct, except for the fact that, like I said, when I was still willing to watch the videos from like the Last Night on Destiny channel, I would watch that stuff just to kind of keep up with what's going on. And then, like I said, when I used to watch him, that just being a big creator and having a big community like that, just watching him and how some of that stuff comes up is interesting to me as I'm trying to build my own community. But what you're saying here, it doesn't necessarily track because he's always been that degenerate. He's always been that degenerate. It may have been super soldiered by the fucking amphetamines, but he's always been that guy. We have the video of him talking about hot 15-year-olds when he was like 26 or something. 24, 26, I don't know the exact age, but he was too old to be talking about hot 15-year-olds. But, I mean, definitely lately makes a lot of sense.
The mindset of a lot of people on the woke left I've seen since Charlie Kirk's death is the brazen glee that they're taking to his murder. And then when I see even Destiny, who's a very well-followed person on the internet, well-known, when Destiny, frankly, if you can't bring yourself just to say the murder was horrific and should never have happened, it's a very simple sentence. It's just basic humanity. It really makes me despair for where everything is going, because it's indicative of the mindset of, I can't give an inch to my political opponents, therefore I lose my humanity. How can that be right?
Because you can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong.
But that's what you're currently in this moment doing. That is currently in this moment what you are doing. So people like me and John and Box are here trying to say it's not the entire left. It's not that we're, it's not time for civil war. We're not there yet. Things are bad, and this was a horrible thing, but we're not there yet. And then you go and say shit like this. How am I supposed to defend the notion that people, normal people, who happen to have different ideas than you, are not trying to gun you down in the streets when you're talking like this? Really got prescribed amphetamines as a kid, though. It fucks up your mind. You don't mature. So, yeah, that is a fact, as is this. But unless I'm mistaken, he did not. And that's why I'm saying he was very open about, whoa, this is great. I've never had this. I had ADD my whole life, but I never had this. And now that I am on this medication, this, that, and that. So, I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty certain.
Can't give an inch to political opponents that won't recognize or acknowledge anything they've done is wrong. It's all it's done is gotten us here. This is where we're at because of that exact mindset.
Correct, Destiny. So stop doing it.
Will any of the conservatives here acknowledge the conservative that murdered Melissa Hortman and her husband and shot the other senator in Minnesota?
Did they do it? Yes, then sure. That's bad. See how I just did that, Destiny? See how it doesn't matter what Trump did or didn't say? See, it doesn't matter what Kamala or Joe Biden or you did or didn't say, that I can say, oh, if you're talking about somebody who was on the right and murdered somebody, that's bad, whether or not they were on the right. Because I have principles, not just positions.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just about all
conservative
political
shooter.
violence.
That it was a conservative shooter.
I don't know the details on that particular case. If I did, and it turned out that it was the case, of course, I would say that such violence should be disavowed. The thing is, you can't hold your entire moral standard based on what you think Trump is doing or not doing. What does that have to do with you, Destiny? It has nothing to do with you. You can easily just say, you can lead by example and say, let's all tone down the violence. That's what you want,
President of the United States. That's what Democrats have been doing.
Wait, you can't lead by example because you're not the president? That's the stupidest thing I've heard today.
That's his argument. I can't lead by example because even though I have millions of people who specifically pressed a button that said, I want to follow what you have to say. Well, I'm not the president. So nothing I say matters or has any effect. I'll take all the benefits of being an influencer. But if you try to say that I have influence, I mean, what are we doing here? Like I said, I try to think of the normies. Most people are non-political. 25% voted for Trump, 25% voted for Harris, and 50% did not vote at all. The normies the normies outnumber both sides. Careful to wake that sleeping giant. Oh, that ship has sailed, honey. That ship has sailed. Wait, I think that we are even going to see record high voter numbers in the midterms because of this. And I get it. A lot of people are like, oh, man, my vote doesn't count. It's like, okay, maybe. But it definitely doesn't count if you don't vote. Like, is it that hard to just vote? If it doesn't matter, then it doesn't matter. If it does matter, well, then that fucking matters.
Wait, you can't lead by example because you're not the president? That's the stupidest thing I've heard today.
If one side wants to fight and the other side doesn't, then you're going to fight. One side can't decide not to fight. But the other side
makes no sense. What does that have?
What do you mean it makes no sense? If some guy comes up to you to fight, and the other side says, I don't want to, you don't really have the choice there.
Lead by example then. Lead by example.
You can't lead by example. That's called dying.
You can.
Actually, I thought
leading by example is only called dying when people like you shoot Charlie Kirk. That's why it means dying, because you make it that way. This is literally the guy on the bicycle putting the stick in his fucking front wheel and falling over and being, oh, why'd you do that? Or the meme of Hannibal Buress and Eric and you know, points. It's like, why'd you do that? You did it. You did it.
It's called dying.
You can.
Actually, I actually thought. Let me jump in.
Because you're actually happy.
Let me jump in here. I actually felt that Anna hit the nail on the head here, which is she did not need to wait for Donald Trump to comment on this to make her own mind up about what had happened. That is intellectual honesty, right? Yes, it may.
Yeah, what it says, most right-wingers don't want to fight. We want to be left the fuck alone. And for the trans groomers, stay away from the kids. Bingo. Now, I don't have a family, but I do have a job. Most of the people on the right do have a family and a job. At least want a family and a job. We don't want to be spending our lives focusing on this fucking bullshit. I mean, I do, but that's because I'm doing this. But here, I want to do this. I don't want this to infiltrate every aspect of life. It's not fun. It's not good.
Be somebody that she totally disagreed with on many issues. The simple humane thing to do with any event like this is to ask yourself, how do I personally feel about it? Not what does Donald...
Ooh, so I just got asked to be part of a panel about Charlie Kirk this Saturday night. So my parents are having a going away party because they are moving to South Carolina for their old people home. But after that, check it out. Keep your calendars open.
What Trump think about it? Or what does Joe Biden think about it? Or what does Timbuktu think about it? It's what do I personally feel about this? It didn't take me very long, Destiny, to understand that I felt repulsed by the execution of somebody in cold blood with his wife and 2 young children there watching. It's a human reaction. I don't need to know what Donald Trump thinks about it at all. I don't understand why you need to wait for him before your own humanity kicks in.
I don't need to wait for anybody. No, you're not asking how we feel about it. You're asking what the...
He literally asked how you felt about it.
public statements should be. And the public statements should be the president of the United States.
Oh, again, you are showing that when someone asks you, how do you feel about this thing? What you hear is, what do you want the people to hear that you think about this thing? You are the fake one. You are projecting so much just superficiality onto everybody else. It's crazy that he can't see it. Or maybe he can and knows exactly what he's doing and doesn't give a fuck.
You're asking what the public statements should be. And the public statements should be the president of the United States.
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No,
You're
I'm
asking
not.
me for a public statement
I'm
right
asking,
now.
where is your humanity? You can't just say the murder was
Where
wrong.
is your humanity, Piers? You guys are playing into this exactly. I think you probably know it. I think Cornell was right about this. You know where your bread is buttered as well. You guys play into this. It's insane to me that the president of the United States can't say, hey, all of us need to be less violent. We all need to calm the fuck down. That the president of the United States can't say this, but you will endlessly scour Twitter and YouTube for leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
Say it. You guys make such a big deal when Donald Trump won't disavow white nationalists and the KKK for the 7 millionth time. But we're just asking you to say it one time, just to establish where your humanity is. And you won't do it. Obviously you can, but you won't. And that is terrifying. Guys, we just passed the 2-hour mark. If you would like to keep the party rated, you know how to do it. We are more than halfway to the goal. Let's go all the way, baby.
Leftists to bring on and say, don't you guys disavow the violence? It's absolutely absurd to me.
You know, Cornel West should have stayed in his seat. We were debating free speech, actually, and whether
You're not debating free speech.
well, let me finish, and whether the overuse of words like Hitler, Nazis, and fascists was actually empowering deranged young minds to think they were battling actual new Hitler, Nazis, and fascists. And actually, when Andrew pointed out to Cornell that he had used the phrase neo-fascist about Trump, that's when Cornell decided he couldn't take part in the debate anymore, when he was reminded of something he had said. He didn't try and deny it. He just said, I don't want to have this debate, and left.
Piers, how long have you been in the United States, like following our politics?
What does it have to do with anything?
Over 20 years, I've lived and worked in America.
Okay, if you've lived and worked in America, I grew up as a conservative, listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean.
Oh, so you must be that person now, right? Because we're talking about the fucking fruitcake who shot Charlie, and you keep saying he was brought up in a conservative Christian family. Oh, wait. It's almost like you were talking bullshit.
I grew up as a conservative, listening to Rush Limbaugh and to Glenn Beck and to Billy Cunningham and to Sean Hannity. You're going to sit here and pretend like Democrats are the ones that started the name calling? I heard them call Obama and the Clinton socialists and communists.
When did I say that?
Heard them call, I'm just saying, why we...
Another projection. The native tongue. Just project. Box said, we are a purple state that vote blue for president constantly. We don't have the DNC. We have the DFL, the current Democratic Farm Labor. It's better. Word up.
Pretending that some
I'm saying, why would Cornel West walk out on a debate when we're literally talking about the importance of speech? Makes no sense to me.
If speech is important, then the president should exercise it more cautiously.
So should you.
Republicans have been. You can't stop.
You've got millions of followers, and you think it's fine to show them you're mocking a widow.
You cannot choose for your opponent not to fight you.
Fine.
If Republicans won't turn down the rhetoric, then who cares? Donald Trump should have used the rhetoric that led her to be killed.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares, bro? It's just Charlie Kirk. Who cares? You don't need to make this shit up. He fucking says it from his own fucking face.
This is the rhetoric that led her to be killed. 2 days before she died.
Who cares that you mocked a grieving widow?
This is all. It's just virtue signaling. You guys are excited about it. You guys love it.
How is it that you said this guy can't possibly be a leftist?
It's exciting to you. It's insane to me.
Yeah. No, how is it that you said this guy can't be a leftist because he grew up in a white Christian household when you grew up in a white Christian household by your own admission just now and you're a fucking leftist, Destiny?
I'm 36 years old. This guy was 22 and he lived at home.
What does that have to do with anything?
Were you not a leftist at 22? You've been online for 15 years talking about the same shit. Let's see. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Let's see if it just comes up easily enough. Destiny. Destiny at 22 years old. Or let's do. Okay. So, what year or how long ago was Destiny 22 years old? No, Destiny, the streamer. It's like 2040. Just give me his fucking birthday. God damn it. 2010. So let's see. Let's go to Destiny's channel. And we'll go to December 12th, 2010, and see what exactly is there. Let's just see. Go to Destiny. We'll go videos. Let's see. Oldest is from 12 years ago. So that is 20. So this is 2 years after. This is 2 years after. Let's see if we get anything relevant to politics. His first political video. And of course, you know, he's definitely talking about politics in this shit. So, all right, let's just pick the first one. Let's see what he's.
No, well, you have a tendency of that, but I don't think that's not the case here. Maybe. See, now I can't even tell if you're trolling or not. I'm just saying, why can't we? All I'm saying is, let's write a nice letter to Blizzard rather than a crazy one. Would you tell Martin Luther King to write a nice letter to the federal government? You better stop. You better stop. Because Martin Luther King wouldn't have influence in that case. I think we would have influence in that case, or you would at least. Why? Because you know people listen. If we can get to the top of Reddit, then obviously it has.
So here we go. Already in the first fucking minute. In the first fucking minute.
About all the parallels.
I'm just so wrong that I can't even see another point of view. I'm so blinded by my own bias.
No, well, you have a tendency of that, but I don't think that's not the case here. Or maybe
it's the case, man.
See, now I can't even tell if you're trolling or not. I'm just saying, why can't we? All I'm saying is, let's write a nice letter to Blizzard rather than a crazy one.
Would you tell Martin Luther King to write a nice letter to the federal government?
You better stop. You better stop.
So in his very first video, at 24 years old, he's invoking how we should be talking about Martin Luther King in a positive manner, which is, left-wing coded, as the kids would say. So, the point is, you were that guy. You were that guy. But because of people like you becoming that guy, you then radicalized another generation to be even worse. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week. Where we at? Trump is the new Biden. Orange is the new gray. Yep. Facts. Larry said, honest question. If Destiny thinks if Destiny thinks try that one again. Hey, shout out to Dylan Soup. Welcome to the party. Very good to see you. I'm just saying, man, Destiny isn't even debating well at this point. Just repeating nonsense no matter how many people prove him wrong. Well, and the tactic is just be as obnoxious to the people on the not left as possible. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters, is that he's trolling the conservatives. And so because he's doing that, and this is exactly what we were talking about with the transmaxing thing, with this whole fucking thing, that the lulz, the joke, is more important than anything else. We said Destiny and Piers are both guilty of placating the middle while the left takes total control. Gonzag said, guess that's what happens when your sex pest allegations and the real threat of going to prison is weighing heavily on you. Yep. I don't know personally, but I would bet that's probably why. Don't say it, as I said in another stream. It's an interesting path for Destiny to become well off financially, become a leftist, and look dirty. He's got to appeal to the dirty, broke people in his audience that think, oh, Destiny's so smart and rich because of socialism. It's the retardation, the absolute retardation. All right, let's dive right back in, guys. Don't forget, we are coming up on the 2.5 hour mark. 99 cents will keep the party raging.
He's 6 years old. This guy was 22 and he lived at home.
What does that have to do with
his entire
anything?
life.
What does that have to do with anything?
I had 20 years to separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So six.
So you are exactly the same person. So it took you 6 years. So it has to take other people 6 years. Shut up. Like, this is so stupid.
Separate myself from my parents' ideology. I didn't live with them still. Jesus.
So 6 months, 1 year, 20 years. Why does it matter how long it took to separate? You just got to say it was impossible. And you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude.
And it's almost like when you were coming up, the left wasn't as radical as it is now. So it probably would take a significantly less amount of time. You fucking retard.
Possible, and you yourself are a leftist who grew up in a Christian conservative household, dude. You're the worst hypocrite I've ever seen.
Hold on, I'm sorry. You think that a 22-year-old has as much time to separate himself from the ideology that he grew up with as a 36-year-old?
No, but a 22-year-old in 2025 is going to have much more radical content to look at than you had 20 years ago. Do we disagree, Destiny? Of course not.
Didn't say
you just made the comparison, dipshit. Of course you did. It's not.
Let me ask you.
Look at you.
Let me jump in. Let me ask Jack. Jack, you know the Kirk family well. You've been around the Kirk family, I think, since this appalling murder has happened. When you hear Destiny saying, "Who cares?" about the fact that he openly, publicly mocked Erica Kirk, a grieving widow, within literally a day or two of her husband being murdered, how does that make you feel as a friend of the family?
It's very angry, Piers, and here's the thing is she's seeing all of it. She's going to see all of it. Her kids are going to watch this video one day. It's just, that's sort of the nature of reality now. They will see all of this and they will see the reaction. And I just hope that those of us who knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the,
Well, as I tell you guys all the time, I don't have the power to request meetings with anybody. So if you guys go to the Liquid Zulu page and say, "Oh my God, I need to see you talk to the Indian Jesus," that will do a lot more than me trying to hit him up on Twitter. So go do that if you want to see that.
Knew Charlie, worked with Charlie, who knew Charlie beyond the, TikToks and short videos, can also be there for those kids as they grow up to let them know who their dad was.
And kids are going to grow up and watch old episodes of Piers Morgan Uncensored. How performative.
If they're talking about their dead father, then probably, yeah. Would you not look up a video of some fuckbag talking shit about your dead father? Would you not want to see that? Let's say you don't want to see that. Let's say you're growing up and somebody in your middle school doesn't like you. But guess what they all have now? Hey, look! Didn't your dad get shot in the neck? Destiny said he deserved it! Oh, we're gonna watch old episodes of Piers Morgan Uncensored? How performative. Projection. So Destiny's time frame argument is actually a point against the left. They're so radicalized that it only took 6 months. Yup.
Is this? Is everybody here? Do we all get like a script before the show? What?
You're watch a lot of old episodes of the JFK. Embarrassing. You make the left look so bad, and you don't even realize it. You are seriously so embarrassing.
Okay, yeah.
God.
You can talk to your best friend.
You really are. I mean, like,
later,
you
have
do you
another
feel?
30-minute conversation about it, Anna.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will talk to Glenn Beck about it. Oh, is that is that naughty? Is it
How many conversations have you had with Nick? You had more conversations with Nick than anyone.
So mean. Oh no, not the meanies on Twitter.
How many more lawsuits are you going to face from women that you allegedly secretly recorded during intimate moments?
He did have chicken and waffles with Nick Fuentes.
How many more lawsuits are you going to face from women that you allegedly secretly recorded during intimate moments, Destiny? I can't believe anyone takes you seriously. You're disgusting, you're embarrassing, and you should be shunned from public life.
Really? You want to bring up the actual crimes against people that I've brought up when I've been throwing insults? How dare you?
How dare you?
Next we're gonna get it.
I life with your
Keep playing it.
disgusting
My God,
treatment
I can't
of all
believe you
sorts
got
of people,
bullied so hard
including
on
young
Twitter. This is what you
left-wing
become.
girls, women
You're turning
that you
more
victimize
blonde right
allegedly.
now in the window. You're
Yeah,
so,
that's who
you're
you
like
are.
2 shades away from
You're
being a Fox News host,
embarrassing.
Anna.
You
Keep
embarrass the
going.
left.
You gotta
You're the
go
type
get
of
go get
person
some
who
lip
pushes
filler there.
people
You
away
gotta
from the
you're
left.
so close,
Make sure
Anna.
you understand that.
Mhm.
You're
Yeah.
embarrassing. There's no
Preach,
morality with
Anna.
you. There's no ground of
Preach,
values. There's no
Anna.
principles.
Yeah.
All you want is attention, 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 attention. That's all you
Absolutely.
want.
Yeah, that,
Yep.
of course.
All
But
you
you and
want.
Jen talk
Endless
about how
attention.
9/11 was
Say
caused by the
disgusting,
Jews, and you have
provocative garbage.
another friendly
want
conversation with
attention.
other
Yeah.
mainstream conservative.
AJW did do a good video on how the 9/11 truther stuff is not a good look on her. Not a good look on her. And I got Andy to side with her, at least for the show. Or did Andy get Anna to side with him?
Jews, and you have
Provocative garbage.
Another
If you
friendly
want
conversation with
attention.
other
Yeah.
mainstream conservative commenting about how you're such a leftist, but those people on Twitter are so mean.
Having a debate or dialogue doesn't automatically mean that you agree with everything they have to say. It means you're coming
No, it's
together
when you sit down and you
you're
agree with
exchanging
everything they have
ideas
to say.
and
Then you agree with
debating
everything they
them.
have to say.
No, I don't agree with everything they have to
You
say.
do.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you do.
I
Of
don't
course
agree
you
with
do. What
everything
do
they
you
have
mean?
to say.
Thing they say in leftist speak, that means you didn't or you had some point of agreement at some point. That's what that means.
No, I don't agree with everything they have to
You
say.
do.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, you do.
I
Of
don't
course
agree
you
with
do. What
everything
do
they
you
have to say.
Yeah, there was one thing that you guys agreed on, so like you agreed with everything that he said.
You know, I'm
When
an
you
adult.
sit down and
I
all
can
of your
sit down and
criticisms
have a
are
mature
for the
debate
left,
or
and you have no
conversation.
disagreements about anything on the right, yeah, that's called
I do have
agreement, is usually
criticisms
what
for
we
the
call it.
left. I have
Yeah, maybe too many. Maybe too many. That's a good still there, right there. That's a good still right there.
You have no
Conversation.
disagreements about anything on the right, yeah, that's called
I do have
agreement, is usually
criticisms
what
for
we
the
call it.
left. I have tons of criticisms for the right. Tons of criticisms.
No, it's meth. It's straight up Adderall, which is meth.
I'm obviously
they don't seem to come out
pro-choice,
much
for
when you're
instance.
talking to
I
your
obviously have a
conservative
huge
friends. Oh, the big
problem
guns, yeah.
with the unending, unmitigated support for Israel, regardless of the genocide they're engaging in. I have all sorts of disagreements with the right. That doesn't mean I'm going to dehumanize them and cheer on the slaughter of my fellow Americans because we have disagreements on politics.
Yeah, because while she's very wrong about a very wide variety of things, she's not evil like you are.
You're
I
embarrassed.
wish anybody here had the same energy for the president of the United States, but that's good. I'm glad you guys are focused where it really counts on Twitter. and
Dude,
YouTube,
you
which
have
is what the
like
conservatives want you to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the
It,
pro
it is Vyvanse. All right, thank you. I was right. I fucking knew it. You guys should trust me more. I fucking knew it. He was very open about it. Never been on it before. Started Vyvanse and was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing." I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Counts on Twitter. and
Dude,
YouTube,
you
which
have
is what the
like
conservatives want you to be
TDS,
focused
like
on, you know?
you are like the prototype
TDS,
of
yeah,
TDS.
there it
It's
comes, yeah.
unbelievable.
The
You
TDS,
wake up every
yes.
morning and you decide your
Yes,
behavior is going
true.
to hinge on Trump.
Tell me more
Well,
about
who
the
are you as an
dancing
individual?
Israelis and
God,
building
have a
7
little bit
and
of
how the
humanity.
Jews all knew about 9/11
You're a
and they all want us to go to war.
You're
in
a
the Middle East. Yeah, of course.
sociopath.
I'm
Let me
just
bring
never
in-
once said the
okay.
Jews
Let me
were
bring
bad.
No, you're not. Now, if you were saying Destiny is so evil that I want him to die, that would not be good. But even still, he is a child predator. He's a child predator. So it's still not good. But it still wouldn't be as bad as celebrating Charlie Kirk's death.
And
Jack
9/11,
again.
not
Let me-
once. Don't make things up, you disgusting prick.
Let me
That's
bring
okay,
in
don't
Jack
worry.
again. Let me bring in Jack again. Jack, Peter Navarro earlier was talking about directly to Elon Musk about, in his view, the urgent need for Elon Musk to detoxify X, given that he owns a platform, and that he blamed X for a lot of the toxicity in public discourse. What do you feel about that?
Well, you know, I think there's obviously a tension between, standing and wanting free dialogue and freedom of speech, but also maintaining a line beyond calling for violence and calling for direct violence or direct criminal activity. So, X in its original Twitter fashion, if you go all the way back to 2012, 2010, when it was really getting going, they used to pretty much the main things that were banned or would get taken down or get accounts banned were posting of direct addresses of people, so doxing, or posting direct threats to violence. And so I think there needs to be that line set of this is acceptable discourse. This is a back and forth, but the idea that a direct call for violence should be banned, I think that's something that I would support.
Andrew, what do you feel about the social media?
Wait, sorry, I missed that. A ban on what?
Back and forth, but the idea that a direct call for violence should be banned, I think that's something that I would support.
Yeah,
Andrew,
it already
what
is.
do you feel about the social media aspect of all this? Do you think that it is culpable to a degree in the surging toxicity of debate about these things?
Look, social media is a tool. And what social media has done right now is it's allowed us to get a glimpse into leftist ideology, finally. Yeah. And we get to see the insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter...
Wait a minute. Cheddar Steve, I don't know how old you are, but you may have had Destiny as a bus school driver. Cheddar Steve says, my grade school bus driver used to drive with no pants on. Boy, he sure had a huge wiener. Oh, then it can't be Destiny. Actually, I don't know what his wiener looks like. But that does sound like Destiny behavior. You never know. You never know.
The insane madness that was always there. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, here on the panel right this second, you have a guy who celebrated a multitude of these types of things, including telling his co-host that basically Trump, the worst place that the assassin could have put the bullet was anywhere other than Trump. I mean, I got the clip of him doing it. And so the thing is like what we've noted now, these people are glad. They're glad. They're happy. They love it. I go on TikTok all the time and I debate with these people. It's very clear that leftists are glad that this happened and that they're going to do everything they can to promote more of it. And we're supposed to base our behavior on what the president does or doesn't say. What, like if I had Biden derangement syndrome, I couldn't still come out and condemn political violence? Of course I could. But the thing is
I'm
that
just curious. Anybody have any words for the fact that Charlie Kirk said that Biden should have been executed?
Leftists collectively can't seem to do that, though. I don't know why they can't seem to do that.
No, that was fine when Charlie Kirk said it.
I know. I want to.
So here's what I'm going to do. We got about 10 minutes before we hit the 2.5 hour mark. There was a couple of things that I wanted to show. I thought they would come up more organically, but they didn't. So we are going to address them now. This is from an AJW video talking about the text exchange that happened between the shooter and his trans roommate. So the shooter left a note saying that I'm the person that killed Charlie Kirk. So after reading the note, the roommate responded, "What? You're joking, right?" And Robinson, being the shooter, "I'm still okay, my love, but I'm stuck in ORAM for a little while longer yet. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I gotta grab my rifle still. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this secret until I died of old age. I'm sorry to involve you." Roommate says, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Robinson says, "I am. I'm sorry." Roommate says, "I thought they caught the person." Robinson says, "No, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated some in similar clothing. I'd planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering." Roommate, "Why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." I'm sorry for laughing, but I feel like I am reading the script for the worst anime ever. And I'm going to read the rest of this like that. So, why? Why did I do it? Yeah, I had enough of his hatred. Some hatred can't be negotiated out. If I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence. Going to attempt to retreat again. Hopefully, they've moved on. I haven't seen anything about them finding it. And some time passes, and the roommate asks, "How long have you been planning this?" "A bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think they're already swept the spot, but I don't want to chance it." Robinson again says, "I'm wishing I'd circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle. I'm worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back Grandpa's rifle. I don't know. I don't even know if it had a serial number, but I wouldn't want it traced to me. I worry about prints. I had to leave it in a bush where I had changed outfits. Didn't have the ability or time to bring it with. I might have to abandon it and hope they don't find prints. How the fuck will I explain this to losing this to my old man? The only thing I left was the rifle wrapped in a towel. Remember how I was engraving bullets? Oh, you mean with, 'Hey, fascist, catch'? That's a different bullet," says Destiny. The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge ooh woo on Fox News, I might have a stroke. And I'm going to have to leave it, but that really fucking sucks. So that's the text exchange. All for the lulz. Remember how I was engraving bullets? The fucking messages are mostly a big meme. If I see notices bulge ooh woo on Fox News, I might have a stroke. Doing it for the lulz. You know, like a Destiny fan. Fox said he had $2,000 scope, but the mounting was $10, in my opinion. I don't know enough about guns to know if that's a joke or what. Actually, I feel weird because we have the same level of autism with text. We said, I don't know about you guys, but every right winger I know is dating furry trans pedophiles. Nah. Fox said he's a fairly well-educated white kid from the middle of Moron, Utah. With right-wing parents. Are you upset he didn't say I'm about to hit this? What? What are you asking? Next, I'm the only one feeling sick to my stomach after hearing this. No, sir, you are not. You are not. And then we had some other bullshit from, of course, the mainstream media news. Remember, guys, there is more of the Piers Morgan debate. If you would like to see that, you know how to keep the party raging.
About the alleged murder weapon, where it was hidden.
Hold on, I'm going to back that up a little bit.
Is true is becoming difficult. But this, let me just show you how psychotic this is.
We have seen an alleged murder with such specific text messages about the alleged murder weapon, where
that's what we just read.
It was hidden, how it was placed, what was on it, but also it was very touching in a way that I think many of us didn't expect. A very intimate portrait into this relationship between the suspect's roommate and the suspect himself, with him repeatedly calling his roommate, who is transitioning, calling him my love, and I want to protect you, my love. So it was this duality of someone who the attorney said not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children.
And I don't know if you can see the fucking thing here. It said ABC News and Matt Gutman specifically is trying to turn the Charlie Kirk assassination case into a trans love story.
Oh, hell no. Jeopardized. You mean killed?
Which is one of the aggravating circumstances.
Yeah, right. Let's not miss that one.
Jeopardized.
Not only jeopardized the life of Charlie Kirk and the crowd, but was doing it in front of children.
Jeopardized. You mean killed?
Which is
you mean jeopardized, not jeopardized.
One of the aggravating circumstances of this case. And on the other hand, he was, speaking so lovingly about his partner. So a very interesting and, as Pierre said, riveting press conference.
They are doing everything they can to protect the assassin. You've got. Listen, I'm gonna pause. I am no fool. I don't always know what's true. I base my decisions off of probabilities. The message that they released from the shooter do not appear to be genuine. I'm not saying the FBI fabricated them. There are many theories. One, it looks like the messages are transposed. So likely translated from Gen Z shorthand, if that were to be the case. And instead they're calling it fan fiction fabricated by the FBI. Or I think what is a decent probability, the shooter is lying. These messages were intentionally written, and this, Matt Walsh had the first tweet from this. Credit to Matt.
I think I agree with this.
Matt Walsh, though I agree with him. This is what I was thinking when I saw it too. They wrote this to absolve the responsibility of others involved. Cash and the FBI are currently investigating other people who appear to have foreknowledge. So these messages look to be crafted intentionally to be like, "Oh, woe is me! You never knew. I was doing crime, and you were not included." People posted on right. That being said, when they see this and they say, it's very touching, a love story, wait till you see this one.
Right.
Montel Williams. Uh-oh.
Oh, Montel. Oh, Montel.
Started right in the house, it seemed.
But you know what? I gotta tell you, there's so much more that needs to be said. You read a couple of excerpts from some of his texts. One of his texts said, when asked, how long have you been thinking about this? A week and a half. It wasn't, I've been thinking about this for the last year and a half. He said a week and a half. If we're going to believe what he said in other places in his text, why not believe?
Why does that matter? What is the relevance of that?
That.
What does that say to you?
What it says to me is that I think there are people who are trying to pigeonhole this as a leftist thing and a right thing. And what we're really talking about, hear me because I'm going to throw you when I say this. We're talking about a love-torn child, a kid. This is probably his first real relationship. And somebody was disparaging the person that he loved.
Let's just pause real quick. Charlie Kirk did not know these people at all and never made any direct statements about them. Nope. So this could only be political.
Yep.
He sat on that building for 30 minutes before he took the shot. Why did he wait until the first word trans came up?
Because it's ideologically motivated.
You think he heard it?
Yeah, because it's about the trans stuff. That's what are you trying to even get at with this question?
I think he could hear it. I think he also.
Come on, Scott.
I don't believe he was motivated.
Set him straight, Scott.
I think this was motivated emotionally. I think this was a emotionally stunted person who literally, when I say it this way, just hear me, tried to defend his significant other.
That doesn't make it not political. That doesn't make it not political. The fact that you feel that your significant other is being politically persecuted and then you're going to do something about it is explicitly political.
Not trying to defend some ideology.
But although I do think there's clearly an ideological difference. So that's why I played about what they said about the family.
30 seconds, guys, till the 2.5 hour mark. Come on, let's keep this party raging. 99 cents will do it. I know one of you got 99 cents.
Charlie Kirk. It was also maybe his dad. I mean, his father.
Oh my God. Even when you have an orgy of evidence, which I have questions about, don't get me wrong.
Shout out to Kelly Green coming in the last 30 seconds. Maybe he will save the show. We will see.
Orgy of evidence.
Welcome to the party, brother.
I have questions about. Don't get me wrong. The liberal media apparatus is staring in the face of a guy who has all the motivations, whose mother has said it, the governor has said it, Axios confirmed, 6 independent sources confirmed this ideology and this as the motive, and they're still desperately trying to say, no.
Was, according to him, MAGA. So that conflict was there, clearly.
But there's a young...
Hey, everybody put box in the fucking chat. Already the sponsor out-sponsoring himself to help out Morty and to keep the party raging for all of you. Thank you, Box. Very, 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 very. Hey, we got Real Black Betty coming in as well. My goodness, and Montel is gay. Yeah. Thank you. And of course, a treat for Morty, and the party rages on. Guys, thank you again so very, very much. Let me update this banner here.
The motive, and they're still desperately trying to say, no.
Was, according to him, MAGA. So that conflict was there, clearly.
But there's a young man who's dating a person in transition. And I'm a conservative father, and I question, let's say my daughter brought home the first guy that she brought home. I question the guy that he brought home. She brought home. Was the dad questioning him politically? Is this a political motivation, or was this a psychological?
$20 hits the goal, guys. $20 collectively hits the goal. Thank you so much for everybody who has already donated. You guys are amazing.
Is this a political motivation, or was this a psychological kind of thing?
I guess I don't.
Yes, it was both.
Know that we'll ever get into fully the minds of what happened here, but it is really horrible that Charlie Kirk was murdered by this person.
Absolutely.
Like, full stop, end of sentence. Horrifying. And
hey, Box got out of debt. Dilly for that. Let's give him a full screen. Dilly. I know what that feels like, man. I might be back in some debt again soon, but you, congratulations, brother. That is amazing. They paid about 40K, I'm going to assume, in debt in about 2 years. It was a month off on my estimate, but I was close enough to fire me up. There you go. Getting shit done. Good job, brother. Good job. I like Megyn Kelly. I've been subscribed to her for a while. I don't watch regularly, but she had really good coverage last week, like on the day. I really liked her coverage. But yeah, I mean, she's of course, an ex-Fox News establishment voice, and she's not going to be like the underground #1 person that you go to. But I like Megyn Kelly.
This person, absolutely, like, full stop, end of sentence. Horrifying. And whether he has plenty of people have conflicts with their parents who don't murder people, and I just think, like, we should all just acknowledge that it was a horrifying, terrible thing, and he deserves punishment for what he did because he took the life of a person. And
yep, that's it. Full end of sentence.
And I just think it's a little complicated to look back and say he has a conflict with his father. Lots of these things happen, and they don't result in a just the end of a life of a father who had children.
Just as an aside, we call this patter or pattering. A lot of words came out of her mouth, but she didn't actually convey any ideas. I'm actually
just saying things. I'm not as good at it as these leftists or some of the better broadcasters, but I could definitely do it.
Or pattering. A lot of words came out of her mouth, but she didn't actually convey any ideas. I'm actually quite good at patter, and when I have to stall for time, I can say a whole lot of things that convey no ideas. Now, you may be noticing that even right now, as my words are coming from my mouth, it sounds like I'm actually talking to you, but nothing is being conveyed because I'm wasting your time. That's what.
All right, let's try it. I'm going to try to waste your time. So, I mean, you know, let's imagine that there is a world where there really is somebody who is willing to hunt you down and do this kind of stuff. It's a really sad commentary on where we are. If we,
he's doing. You get the point,
guys. Guys, the evidence here.
Scotty.
He said, "Charlie Kirk, I can't stand this hate anymore. I'm going to take him out." The testimony from him and the statements of his family, he had become more left wing. He etched the statements that are made by the left about Republicans and conservatives and Charlie Kirk fascists on the bullet casings.
He made a joke about it in his last text.
But it doesn't sound like a joke to me because someone's dead and about to be buried.
Well,
so it doesn't sound like a joke to me.
Tell him, Scott.
So I'm just
Tell him,
telling you,
Scott.
there was an effort all weekend long on the left to try to make this guy sound like he was a conservative. That failed.
Yep.
That was passed around all over the weekend. That has now failed. The evidence has now come out. He was motivated by hate. He was motivated by left-wing radicalism. He got mixed up with some trans ideology in his life. We'll learn more about that, I'm sure, when
furry ideology. Does anybody have a good explanation of the uwu notices bulge uwu thing? I've seen somebody break it down. I'll try to find it. But if somebody knows, that would be very good. Hey, shout out to a real Black Betty again with the $2. Said me, Anna, and Megan K. That sounds like a fun night. Let's go. Hit me up. Let's go. I'm down. Was that an invite? Take it. Thank you. So,
more evidence and testimony comes out, we are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism.
Yep.
Got this.
Guys, that's over halfway. 7 out of 15 super chats. And again, we are at $30 out of 50. We are very, very close. And you know what? I just thinking about this now. I did finish another peanut butter thing for this morning. So it's a peanut butter night. Let's get Morty some peanut butter. Or no, we're at 32 now. 32. I didn't actually count that. There we go. Guys, we could do this. I believe in you.
Evidence and testimony comes out. We are looking around the edges of this for something other than what's staring us in the face. Left-wing radicalism. Got this kid. He went up to a roof and he murdered our friend, and that's what happened.
I don't think that any.
Indeed. And that's what happens. And they are so desperate to spin this. It's insane. Now, I'll tell you, there's a bunch of conspiracy theories popping up, videos of Charlie, and it's just, guys, certainly conspiracies exist. A conspiracy just literally means 2 or more people plotting something nefarious or criminal. And we don't know. What I will tell you is that premeditated murders are often.
Oh my goodness. Again. Doug, peanut butter, and whoa. Hey, whatever you're into. If Anna and Megan are there, I am down. Let's fucking go. Indeed, it is a party. That's 8 out of 15, guys. Oh my goodness, we are getting so very close. Thank you. Real Black Betty coming in hot.
And we don't know. What I will tell you is that premeditated murders are often unsolved. Now, in this regard, I have questions, but I will bring those up. I'm gonna do a bigger breakdown on these theories, the conspiracies around. All
right, so I wanted to show you those clips. They were well established there, and then JD Vance was cover. I think it was yesterday. Hosted the Charlie Kirk show itself because obviously they're trying to keep Turning Point alive, and that's the main thing. And there's a little bit of what he says here. Let's check that out. Before we do that, what are you guys saying? Because I was thinking the same thing. 3 lovely ladies is something I will never complain about. Yep. Yeah, that's the name of the game. Let me say it was fun from 2010 to 2020, but meme culture has turned to pure evil. We used to demand truth, and now we want the bulge. So before we do that, let's see Okay, let's see what this guy is saying.
I'm going to do my best to explain.
Oh, come on, give me the fucking full whatever. I don't care.
Some internet terminology that has hit the mainstream media recently. If you are the terminally online friend or family member and people are asking you about these things and you don't want to explain it yourself, you can just send them this video. And to be clear, I'm just going to be defining and giving context for these terms and not talking about the motives of anybody that uses them for reasons. First up, we have the phrase notices, bulges, oh, what's this?
Oh, so that's a different thing. That's a different thing than like the I don't know the context. I know it's I know it's an anime thing, but like when was it Bella Thorne? The girl that was selling her bathwater. She would always do the like I've heard of that, but like yeah, I am very out of the loop with this shit. Yeah, you didn't know that. Yeah, like I'll pop that shit. Pop that shit right there. Oh, and then it does come back to live chat. Yeah, if you already know what's good in this video, then you need to go touch grass.
First up, we have the phrase notices, bulges, oh, what's this? Breaking it down into two parts. First, I'll explain, it's a face. It's an old school emoticon, the thing that we used before we had emojis, where you would use letters and numbers and characters to make little faces. The O's are eyes. Sometimes they're capitalized, so they're like bright, big eyes like that. And the W is just a mouth. It's kind of like a curvy mouth. Often it is used by like the furry community, which is people that dress up in animal suits, and like big anime fans. You may hear them called weebs. As like a shocked, sometimes a flirtatious. There's a lot of different meanings, but it's by itself doesn't mean anything.
Why is this not
too crazy? It's just a face. Not to be confused with uwu, U-W.
Okay, that one I knew about.
Thing, but the eyes are closed. So the full thing, notices, bulges, what's this? Is a meme. It's an old one from like 2015 that is largely just making fun of the furry community and how they interact, especially flirtatiously, with each other. This is the kind of way that they type to each other specifically. And if you're not online, you may not know a ton about furries, but allow me to just tell you, the furry community is overall fantastic. There are some bad parts of it, but the vast majority of furries are fantastic. And
are they though? Are they though?
Some of the strongest people on the internet because they've been a punching bag for the internet since its inception, and yet they are still
because it's fucking weird.
Actually met in person are truly fantastic people. Shout out to the furry community. Next up, we have Oh Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao Ciao Ciao. That is in reference to an Italian song that came out of World War II, which is an anti-fascist song. Like a guy's basically writing a letter to his love about going to fight fascists and maybe not coming back.
That's used in I don't know if you guys know the movie or not. The series Money Heist. It's just about a big bank heist, and that's like the main theme song for like Bella Ciao. It's an Italian show, and or Spanish rather. Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Bella Ciao, Ciao.
It has picked up some popularity recently. Surprising that might be. Despite what I've seen a lot of people say, not just within the Groyper community, which we will come back to that word, don't worry. It is also fairly, it's always been common and big for anti-fascist communities.
Hold on, I'm going to try to if we can get this in a regular thing.
I'm going to do my best to explain some.
There we go. Okay, so we're at, where were we?
Some people pick
231. We're gonna speed this up.
Been big for anti-fascist communities. Some people pick it up ironically, but
there we go.
That's questionable. It's debatable. Don't worry about it. Next up, we have Hey Fascist Catch, and then the up arrow, right arrow, 3 down arrows. This is a reference to a video game called Helldivers 2. Think the movie Starship Troopers, including the anti-fascist and anti-capitalist critiques and parody of it. You're basically playing as the fascists, which are people that are fighting giant bugs and also robots. One of the people that you fight against says to you, hey, fascist, catch, and then when they throw like a big bomb. The arrows are, the way that game works is at certain times you can call in like big bombs and other things, and that arrow breakdown is kind of a reference to a very large bomb, big blow up that you can do in the game. You have to type in on the D-pad those arrows.
That's so cringe. That's so fucking cringe.
As have always been clear, because this game has been out for a few years, that this series is anti-fascist. The point is to be making fun of fascism and the language of fascism, even though you are the ones playing fascists who think they are the good guys. And then finally, we have the term Groyper. If this was sent to you by somebody who you think is like always online and knows everything about the internet,
Like I said, the meaning of this word is going to change over the next 6 months because of this discussion.
and everything like that, imagine them, but like real bad. It is a deep online niche community. They are very specifically fans of someone called Nick Fuentes, who spouts right-wing hatred on the internet. These people are deep, irony-poisoned, often black-pilled, alt-right, but like even more, right? So like, you know how there's issues between like Democrats, liberals, and leftists about things? The similar thing exists between the alt-right and people like Groypers. The Groypers think that people like Charlie Kirk are not authoritarian enough. Obviously, that's super simplistic, and I'm not comparing leftists or liberals to Groypers, just to clear that up. The political beliefs are deeply anti-Semitic, white nationalism, Christian nationalism.
That was the last one we know about Groypers. Okay, so them's the memes from the bullets. That's what all that shit means. It is clearly not right-wing coded. It's clearly, if we are putting this in a left-right paradigm, clearly left-wing. But as the this and other videos have shown, somebody else made a rather poignant notion about, you know, the political horseshoe, where you can see that, you know, the two extremes are very close, and then, you know, it comes up like that. And they were saying that the people who are part of this world it's not about left or right or here. It's about burning the system down. It's like they said they live in the middle of the horseshoe. So how do I fucking make a horseshoe? Like, okay, it's not ideal, but if you have a horseshoe there, they live in the middle where it's like outside of that. They're not trying to go for Trump or against Trump. It's not about that. It's not about that. So let's see what JD Vance has to say.
Important thing was working. JD Vance had the noon hour. And I'll just jump to the end of his statement.
After the father of that family lost a dear friend. I hope not. While he was mourning his dead friend, he and his wife had to worry about the political terrorists drawing a big target on the home he shares with his young children. Are these people violent? I hope not.
Obviously.
But are they guilty of encouraging violence? You damn well better believe it.
Facts.
We can thank God that most Democrats don't share these attitudes, and I do, while acknowledging that something has gone very wrong with a lunatic fringe, a minority, but a growing and powerful minority on the far left. There is no unity with people who scream at children over their parents' politics. There is no unity with someone who lies about what Charlie Kirk said in order to excuse his murder. There is no unity with someone who harasses an innocent family the day after the father of that family lost a dear friend. There is no unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there
I have to point out how much I fully agree with every word he just said. But if we fall into the trap that Matthew King was talking about on the other stream, that this is a trap, if you fall into the trap that this is the left, you are going to go down the wrong road. It is the people who are doing this. The people who are doing this are the issue. It is not a specific political ideology. You will find yourself down the wrong road, hating the wrong people for the wrong reasons.
No unity with the people who celebrate Charlie Kirk's assassination. And there is no unity with the people who fund these articles, who pay the salaries of these terrorist sympathizers, who argue that Charlie Kirk, a loving husband and father, deserved a shot to the neck. Because
I think I'm literally saying that they're not, I'm not saying they're left wing or right wing. I'm saying, yes, it's clearly, if I specifically said that, if we put it into, I'll give you the full screen for this. If we put it into a left wing or right wing paradigm, then yes, it is clearly left-wing. That's like saying, well, if we put it in a human versus animal dynamic, well, it definitely was a human. That doesn't help us. That doesn't help us. This is equally as helpful as saying, well, it definitely wasn't a dog, it was a human. That's what I've been trying to fucking get through to people like you for the last week. Again, I agree with you. But these fucking lunatics is not every single person who doesn't like Trump. You have to understand that. Especially if you're the meme lord here, then you have to understand that it's not about politics. It's much more closely aligned with the fucking I don't even know the word. The exoneration of Heath Ledger's Joker. Some people just want to watch the world burn. They fucking live that shit. It's not about politics. It's related, but it's not about politics.
A loving husband and father deserved a shot to the neck.
Yes, the fuck she did, Box. Yes, the fuck she did. We've already seen clips of it. We've already, I mean, she herself has apologized for engaging in that type of rhetoric. Not on that panel, conveniently, but yes, the fuck she did. Am I saying she's the only one or she's the worst one? No. But to say that she didn't contribute is silly.
Because he spoke words with which they disagree. Did you know that the George Soros Open Society Foundation and the Ford Foundation, the groups who funded that disgusting article justifying Charlie's death, do you know they benefit from generous tax treatment? They are literally subsidized by you and me, the American taxpayer. And how do they reward us? By setting fire to the house built by the American family over 250 years.
The whole show was incredible. Every interview and his statement was incredible. And there is something terrifying, yet something hopeful within this. With everything Destiny has said, there will be no unity. I have not before advocated for...
Yeah, like no unity with Destiny. People are championing Destiny, saying things like what Destiny is saying. Yeah, totally. But that's not everybody on the left. And if you're too emotional to be able to understand that just because it is someone on the left and it's not the left, then chill the fuck out. Because you don't want this civil war that has been talked about. We are getting closer, and you don't fucking want it.
I mentioned something to you, which I was going to talk to Cornel West
Charlie
about.
Kirk was a moderate. He was more moderate than a local electrician.
Yeah, nice pivot.
He was more moderate than a local electrician, and you know that.
He said he wanted to see Biden.
You have debated with the worst, and I've seen you do it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. As Andrew said, Destiny has debated people who are, I mean, again, chicken and waffles with Nick Fuentes. Charlie was the moderate one.
He wanted to see Biden. You have debated with the worst, and I've seen you do it. You know, Biden executed. Okay, give me a fucking break.
That's not what he said. That's not what he said. He said if you violate criminality in criminal laws, then that will be the case.
All right, I want to ask Anna.
There's not what's performative. What's performative?
So if I say, oh well, I think that guy was a criminal, therefore the execution is okay. Somehow that makes everything fine.
Yeah, that's how crime works. If you do a crime that's justified to the death penalty, then it's okay in the realm of politics to discuss that you are okay with laws being followed. Now, I personally am not in favor of the death penalty, but that doesn't mean that if somebody is sentenced to death and committed the crime, that they don't deserve to lose their life. I don't think you have a point here, bro.
oh, well, I think that guy was a criminal, therefore the execution is okay. Somehow that makes everything fine with no investigation, no criminal charges.
You say all the time that your political opponent should be in jail and highest extent of the law. You say it all the time. What are you talking about?
Sorry, no, that's Donald
saying
Trump.
the word performative doesn't mean anything.
The National Guard right now.
Oh, it's just performative.
Investigations into
oh, that's just performative.
I want to bring Anna back in. I want to bring Anna back in. Okay, I want to bring Anna back in because the president-elect of the Oxford Union, probably the most premier debating society in the world, I've done it several times myself, George Aberonye, reportedly posted he did post several comments in a WhatsApp group appearing to celebrate the murder of Charlie Kirk. One said, Charlie Kirk got shot. Let's fucking go. Another one was, I think, LOL. This guy is going to be the president of the Oxford Union Debating Society. And
let me say something else. Box and other people have brought up George Floyd a lot. I would love to know when the first widely shared meme of George Floyd happened. How much time between the death of George Floyd, a criminal who brought his circumstances on himself, how long before people were making jokes about his sobriety and this and that and that? And it being accepted by other people. I don't know for sure. I'm sure definitely some people made jokes on the same day. But I would venture a guess that most people who are okay with a George Floyd is sober for so many years joke had a very, very emotional reaction to the initial footage. And was only after we realized, like, hey, wait a minute. This wasn't some police brutality situation in any way, shape, or form. And yet, cities were burned to the ground. Cities were burned to the ground. And so all I want to know is who waited longer. I bet you it was us. I bet you it was us.
This guy is going to be the president of the Oxford Union Debating Society. And yet he is celebrating the murder of somebody he literally debated himself in the Oxford Union in May. I found that terrifying.
Terrifying is a great word for that, because it's not normal people who don't know Charlie Kirk, haven't talked to Charlie Kirk, and don't have that personal connection. Like, okay, I can understand how it is abstract to you that Charlie Kirk isn't a person. It's just an idea that represents hate and blah, 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 blah. Okay. I mean, I can see that. But like, you stood in front of this fucking person and spoke with them. And if that doesn't give you some level of humanity, then I don't understand how you could make the argument that there's not something wrong with you. Yeah, go ahead and try. Somebody make the argument. How is it that you can stand across from somebody? And we've seen the Oxford debates. You're 10 feet from the person. Nobody said, how do we coexist with people who literally don't believe in your right to own property? How do we coexist? Well, in the short term, we certainly don't fucking start a civil war. But in the long term, we show the people, as Nick was talking about before, 50% of people did not vote. 50% of people are not playing this game. And I say game as a tongue-in-cheek, not the way Destiny thinks. It's literally a video game. We get those people to realize, oh, if you're going to act like that, we're going to side with the people who care about this stuff and talk about this stuff every day. That's how.
You shouldn't still be in the job, because how can you possibly be the head of a debating society when you think the way to debate with people is murder them if they don't agree with you? But again, the gleeful celebration. This is supposedly one of the brightest students in Britain. President of the new Oxford Union.
Look at that. Look at that. That is 10 feet at most. You looked in this man's eyes and then celebrated his death.
Society.
he can't be that bright if he's not considering what a political assassination could potentially lead to. Because where does this end? And that's like one of my biggest issues with a portion of the left. Their inability to see past the current moment, right? You're celebrating it, but what's the long-term goal here? Is the long-term goal to just have to descend to an environment of endless political assassinations and violence? And if we're going to have the left go up against the right in terms of violence, in terms of bloodshed, in terms of shootings,
y'all don't want that. Y'all don't want that. I am a skinny, short dude without a gun. But everybody else.
I don't know. I would just venture to say that the right is probably going to do a better job in, taking people out than the left is. This is just a really disgusting, sick ideology, and we need to move away from it. And again, I want to emphasize your personal behavior, the way you choose to behave and respond to things on a day-to-day basis.
Stop letting it work. Stop letting it work. Have I missed a show? I haven't missed a show. Has any of your favorite creators who are significantly bigger than me, both in height and channel size, who might be the next target, did they skip a show? I'm going to be here. I've told you guys what my principles are. I constantly talk about what I believe and what I'm going to do and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to accomplish. Some faggot furry. There it is. There it is. There it is. I tried for a good long time. But we said faggot, so we've crossed that bridge. So some furry faggot does some shit. And now the entire political landscape is not what it was a week ago? What? Sounds like emotion. Sounds like fear. Sounds like anger. Justified. But it doesn't sound like logic to me. And I certainly am not saying that I haven't been emotional, or that anybody else shouldn't be emotional. What I'm saying is that we can't let that emotion drive what we do next. That's what they do. That's how we got here. Some fucking faggot sad about mean words. Oh, you said mean words to my boyfriend or girlfriend, or I don't really fucking know. And now I'm going to kill, says the person. That ain't going to change my fucking principles. Not me. Not me. It's going to take a lot more than a furry to change my fucking opinion. Shout out to Real Black Betty with a $2. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I'm in love with Hannah. I'm definitely in lust. Definitely in lust. I mean, yeah. I mean, this hairstyle isn't the best. But yeah. Damn. Yeah. Dilly. It's because of that fucking Apple Fireball that I took a shot of. Guamtech over on Rumble said YouTube won't let me post this. The best way to punish a leftist is to give them exactly what they want. The problem is that we may have to put up with our harming us too. Say more on that. I'm not fully sure. I know I'm goddamn right. I've been right. It's about everybody else fucking figuring out that I got the fucking answers. I know what the fuck I'm doing here. Give me the platform. I will make this shit happen. I am telling you. I've been very open about the shit that I don't know and can't do. I've been very honest about what I can do. And this is one of those things. If you haven't subscribed, if you haven't joined the Discord, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. We're fucking building something here. Oh, I forgot to pin it. Let me pin that link right now. Free to join. And you know what? Just in case you knew, and you don't know what's really good, if you guys are enjoying the show, the party rages on 24/7 over in our Discord. The link is pinned to the top of the chat and is absolutely free to join 24/7. We're in there hanging out, having a great time. And guys, it is absolutely free. However, if you are a member of this channel here on YouTube, you can scroll right below that video and hit that join button. Starts at $2.99. There's a few different tiers, but $2.99 will get you in. It gets you members only live streams here on YouTube, all that other good stuff. But it opens up the full Discord server. So we've got the free chat that is open to anyone. Anybody can join and talk. But as you can see, that is just one of our channels. There's a bunch of different channels here, including our disciple chat for members only, our word of the day watch party, where we're talking about all this stuff. And of course, we have the voice channel here, where we are hanging out at this moment in the after party. Shout out to everybody in the Discord server. Say hello and tell them to come and join.
Hello, come and join.
There you go, guys. Simple as that. See you there. And of course, remember that after party that you just saw is for members only. But if you click that link before the stream is over, you get a day pass to come and hang out and chit chat and say whatever you like. You can cam up if you want. You don't have to. Either way, it is a good time. Come and join us. Let's dive back in and finish this up.
Your personal behavior, the way you choose to behave and respond to things on a day-to-day basis, has an impact. Okay, be the change you want to see in the world. So when you have a huge audience, and that audience of young people who look up to you, who feel inspired by you, hear you essentially minimize political violence, or even...
Dixon is the man. Dixon is the man. Shout out to TSN. Skull to Dixon.
Make excuses for it or deflect by blaming Trump for everything. Well, you're essentially indoctrinating people to support and normalize political violence. We can't be doing that. I don't care how people behave on the right. That's not going to have an impact on how I personally choose to behave. I want to be better than that. I want to preach dialogue, okay? Debate, have these conversations. And, you know, Charlie Kirk, the last debate he and I had, you know, Destiny would like you to believe that I agree with the right on everything. I don't agree with the right on everything. We debated about whether or not you have to have children in order to care about the future of this country. So we have a debate, and it's fine. He has a right to his opinions. I have the right to mine. If you care about democracy, the democratic process is reliant on having these types of conversations and reliant on not resorting to violence because you're unable to articulate your arguments effectively against the other side. That's what I see this assassination as. Again, it was cowardice. It was disgusting. It was cold-blooded murder, and no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Oof. Liberty Plus TV. Anna is a good leftist, and she's bat shit crazy. Yeah. Yeah. What does that tell you? That one, even though she's batshit crazy, we need to laud her as like, okay, people move more in that direction. Move more in that direction. And then somebody hopefully will be a little bit more gooder of a leftist that's still batshit crazy. And then we have another person, a little bit more, just a little bit more. And eventually, people like Destiny are gone. Like I said, if we give them what they want, it will eventually fail like it always has. The problem is that it may spread and affect all the non-crazies while they're learning. When it fails, we can hope that they're open to actually listening to what actually works again. Whew. I mean, theoretically, yes. That does seem like the plan. But and I'm stuck in the middle. I am definitely understanding of the position of no, fuck them. We tried to talk to them. We did this. We did that. Whatever. I understand the position of saying we tried that. It's done. It's time for violence. I understand if people say that. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Hey, Waco Mine. Welcome to the party. Very good to see ya. I got, what is mine? I see, I just chill with a nice 5%. nice 5%. And I'm not going to say the brand name, but if anybody wants to sponsor me, I drink every stream. But I go with 5%. Plus, I got my stuff so I don't go too wild. There was that one time that you guys will never know that I just got a little too drunk. You couldn't tell, but I could tell, and it was not a good time for me. All right.
And no one should be celebrating it, and no one should be mocking the family members of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, very well said. I just want to thank all the panel for joining me. Jack, I want to say to you, I can tell by your demeanor today how profoundly impacted you've been by your friend's murder.
God.
And I'm just very sorry to you.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You think he's sad because his friend died? Oh my God. Like, how horrible of a person can you be?
Impacted you've been by your friend's murder.
God.
And I'm just very sorry to you as his friend that you've had to endure what must have been a hellish week. And
actual ghouls.
I'd like to send my very
indeed, you are an actual ghoul.
best to the family who I know you talk to. And I'm sorry for some of the things you've had to hear from Destiny in this debate. But thank you for coming on despite what you've been going through. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, Piers. I'll convey that to them.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. So before we go,
people have
let's check out a little bit of another panel that went a little fucking wild. Where are we starting? Let's go.
Happened to.
So we got Riley Gaines, we got Jillian fucking, what the fuck is her name? Some random leftist. I'm not on the left, I'm a registered independent. And this fruitcake, the amazing Lucas, who is Destiny Light. Destiny Light.
People in America. I don't agree with them. And if you're on the far left or the far right and you celebrate anybody getting murdered, then there's something wrong with you. And I don't feel bad for any of those people that were fired for celebrating his death. I think it's disgusting. Now, if you're just talking about him and saying, well, he wasn't a good guy, here's why I didn't like him, here are some of his quotes that he said in the past, I don't think you should be fired for that. I think there's a way to call out political violence and say Charlie Kirk didn't deserve this. I feel for his family, but I didn't like Charlie Kirk and I didn't like what he stood for.
Right, but see, Box, you're only saying this to distance yourself from the people that you vote for. Nobody asked if you were right. The reason that you feel the need to say this is because stuff like this happens, but you still vote for them.
I think you could make both points respectfully.
Okay, Luke has been pointed out to me that you've posted some messages about Charlie Kirk on your Instagram, which we're going to show here. One is a post that's a parody of a Jubilee debate. I'm doing one of these myself soon, titled Charlie Kirk versus Bullet. Can one bullet to the neck outsmart one conservative? Well, that was a short watch.
Get it? Because, like, the bullet, like, beat him, and, like, he's always good at debates, but, like, he didn't beat the bullet. You get it? Do you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Number two is a mocked-up promotion poster called Kirk and Twerk at Neck of the Woods and hashtagged both Charlie Kirk and his...
And again, you can see, where's my fucking mouse? That it is from the amazing Lucas.
Widow. And the third was an image of a sunrise titled God Works in Mysterious Ways with the hashtag Charlie Kirk killing and praying hands as an emoji. And you're laughing as I show these. Why do you find this funny?
Well, let me just say that I actually am a big advocate for dark humor. And I happen to have gotten a bit of a taste of that over the last, I don't know, maybe decade or so when it came to the right and their memes of George Floyd. Happy birthday being sober for 5 years. When it came to their memes of Breonna Taylor, when it came to their memes of Trayvon Martin, the Trayvon challenge, right? When it came to their memes of Tamir Rice.
Wait. I don't even know what the Trayvon challenge is. I have never heard that.
So I don't know what the issue is. I think I'm engaging the
Whoa. Are you listing all those things because they're bad things? Or are you listing those things because you're saying all of it is okay? Because it sounds like you're saying those were bad, like Destiny said. So I'm going to be bad, like Destiny said.
In the freedom of speech that the right has been advocating for these last 10 years and mocking it and making light of Black Death, something that Charlie Kirk himself did time and time again. As a matter of fact, I would argue that if Charlie Kirk, instead of focusing his time on
wait, Box. So if you like dark humor and bro is on point, then what the fuck is your issue with the George Floyd memes? I'm a registered independent. Well, you sure act like a fucking leftist.
culture and black on black crime if he had spent a modicum of his time focusing on.
Montag said, if places like California fail completely, the people may be open to listening. It's hard to criticize the people feeding you when you're starving. If you want to keep getting the help, that is. But good people in California would also have to deal with it. So it's not something I want to happen. And so basically you're saying we got to burn it down to show them how bad their ideas really are. I'm getting close to that point. I don't like that, but we're getting close into it. Buck said, I don't have a problem. I'm just pointing it out. I'm just looking at it objectively as you can. But then you said it's not different. You don't think a criminal overdosing while being arrested is different than a political activist who is asking for debate getting shot? You don't think that's different? It's different. It's not the same thing. Many of us, I know many of us have been drug addicts before, and we know that at any time we could have OD'd. Luckily, we didn't. But that's a different thing than somebody carrying out an assassination. Okay, then why are you bringing... What is the point of you bringing it up? Because the only point to bring it up is to make the comparison, and then we say it's not a good comparison, and then you argue that is. I agree there's a lot of nuance, but you're the one saying, well, this one died, and that one died, and this one got memes, and that one got memes. Ignoring the nuance.
On the white youth, that perhaps he would still be with us today.
Are you pleased he's dead?
No, absolutely not.
So how did you feel about his murder?
I don't think...
How did you feel about his murder?
How do I feel about his murder?
Yeah.
Well, I think a quote by a great author sums up the sentiment of millions of Americans around the world. And that is, some cause happiness wherever they go. Others when they go. And I think that's a sentiment that is palpable amongst many Americans around the world due to the hate and vitriol and bile that Charlie Kirk sowed.
So
I think there was a
just to be clear, unless I misheard you, then you are happy he died.
No, I don't think as far as happiness is an emotion that
you literally just read me a quote which implies you're happy. You talked about something.
No, so if you had died from one of those overdoses, and people are like, you know what? I don't fucking care. I didn't know who he was. He was some drug addict. He made his own decisions. And that happened. I'm not saying it's good, but I'm not going to fucking ruin my day because some random junkie OD'd and died from it. Is that a fair position? Or is it different? Because, oh, it was on the internet. Oh, people are posting on black squares, so it's different. Is it though? It's not. It's different. It's a different circumstance. And you're trying to conflate two things that are not the same.
That's bring happiness.
The purpose of the quote was to say that there are some people who have caused harm and death and turmoil to other groups of people, such as Charlie Kirk, whether it's black people, whether it's, trans people.
No, I heard the quote.
The list
just to be
goes
clear,
on.
you said...
but again, Box, so then what? You're talking out of both sides of your mouth. Do you love dark humor and is bro on point, or is the mocking hurtful? Which one is it?
The quote ends in that their death brings happiness, but you've denied that you were happy. And when you tell me a quote
I don't disagree.
When you tell me a quote like that,
are...
I presume from that quote you're implying that actually you are happy he died because he deserved it. He had it coming.
No, not at all. I don't think those are ever words that I've ever mentioned verbatim ever. I think
verbatim. We're back to I didn't actually technically say exactly those words, so you're misrepresenting me. Nope. You expressed happiness, even though you didn't say verbatim, I am happy that Charlie Kirk died. It doesn't mean that you didn't mean that you are happy that Charlie Kirk died. Now you're treating us like we are dumb and we can't understand subtext, but we can.
No, not at all. I don't think those are ever words that I've ever mentioned verbatim ever. I think
Verbatim?
there is a sentiment that when someone who lives their life in evil and wickedness, according to the scripture, the power of life and death is in your tongue. And
okay, and who was are we talking about that's living by wickedness? What?
The hate and the vile and the venom that he spewed, I don't know what to tell you. As a
Which hate are we talking about? I'm down to listen. I just which hate specifically are we talking about?
Scripture says, as he professed, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. I think his focus should have been on a community that, clearly is in problem. That I find it.
You mean like bringing people of different political ideologies together to talk about political ideologies? Oh, that's what he was doing when he was shot in the fucking neck.
Interesting that there's more scrutiny on people who may make memes that they've done of George Floyd and other black victims than on the white male youth that did this tragedy, as some would call it.
Why would you be offended about the memes to people like George Floyd, which I found contemptible at the time, if they're the same ones that you're talking about? Why would you profess to be offended by those if you're quite happy to do the same kind of thing yourself?
I think the point that I'm making by the memes that I'm putting out, which clearly has caused outrage and triggering, I find it a bit.
Yep. Oh, come on. Give me the focus on that one. Yep. Both the amazing Lucas here and our boy Box have made that comparison, and I said they are very different scenarios, and apparently the leftists don't see the nuance.
Hypocritical that the people for years who said fuck your feelings are now overwhelmed with feelings at the moment. But the point that I was making was,
but it's fuck your feelings in terms of superseding logic, not you shouldn't have feelings. This is again going back to they can't understand anything beyond first order thinking. The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. They literally think that means that the existence of a good guy with a gun makes you impervious to bullets and or creates a force field around you. I know that sounds retarded, but multiple people have expressed to me how that notion is stupid when I talked about good guy with a gun versus bad guy gun. So it's not like they think that. And so here again, when we say fuck your feelings, in relation to superseding the logic that we're talking about. Did you think we thought that human beings just can turn off all emotions? Is that honestly what you thought? Because then you're really stupid.
Your feelings are now overwhelmed with feelings at the moment. But the point that I was making was to point out the hypocrisy that the right has on a variety and myriad of issues, as we just saw with Pam Bondi on the freedom of speech. I think
one who didn't have shit to say, couldn't debate, so went to violence.
I think the issue is that they have scapegoated people like Pam Bondi for what is the crime of Donald Trump. The same thing they did with Anthony Fauci. We saw this when it came to the Second Amendment. They banned bump stock ban. They had a bump stock ban under Donald Trump while they were fear-mongering about Biden taking away your guns. But as we saw, there was no outrage. There was no protest. And we come to find out that it was unconstitutional.
Plenty of outrage. What the fuck are you talking about?
So I think this hypocrisy is ubiquitous within the right.
I agree. Your hypocrisy is insane.
And I think my memes expose that hypocrisy.
And what about your own...
No, honey. I know you think you did a thing, but you didn't do a thing.
Personal humanity. I mean, hashtagging his widow in a mocked-up promotion poster of Kirk and Twerk at Neck of the Woods. How do you justify targeting... Oh, hang on. How do you justify targeting his widow?
I think that's a bit disingenuous to use such hyperbolic language as targeting.
You tagged her!
I think it's more of a strategic plan of attack to get the message out.
Well, you just said attack. You just said the word attack. Is target better than attack? I wasn't targeting her. I was attacking her. Okay, bro.
Of a genuine...
Justify targeting his widow.
I think that's a bit disingenuous to use such hyperbolic language as targeting.
So let's not... Okay, fine. He didn't target her.
I think it's more of a strategic plan of attack to...
He attacked her. How do you get this stupid? How do you get this fucking stupid?
get the message out to more people. When we saw Erica Kirk, she had a moment to speak for unity within the country, left and right, and she chose to fundraise. She then chose to use the scripture and talk, very nice.
Yeah, because her fucking husband died. What?
Of her, past husband, and I understand that. But by that same token, there are people who were absolutely harmed by the rhetoric that Charlie Kirk put out, and that rhetoric actually codified in many cases.
Even if that were the true, let's say that Charlie actually had harmful rhetoric that codified blah 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 blah. Let's say that was true. Why would that then mean that his wife shouldn't be able to make a living and feed their children? Oh, you're just talking shit.
In many states. So I think it's abhorrent and actually perverse to expect people who are harmed by his rhetoric, harmed by someone who had anti-black, anyone who wasn't white and Christian in his perspective.
Wrong.
I think it's perverse to try and criticize those people or try and make them seem as if they're the bad guys. When that's
but see, funny enough, I can look at what.
All right, guys, we are coming up on 3.5 hours. We have finished the entire panel debate with the last one. I am down to keep going if you guys are, but you know how to make it happen.
Seem as if they're the bad guys when that's
but see, funny enough, I can look at what you've done, and I can see somebody who is abhorrent and despicable and actually evil. Actually, the stuff when you target someone's widow as she grieves.
Once again, I disagree with the word targeting.
No, I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me personally.
So, wake up mind. When the stream is over, go back maybe an hour or so. We went through a TikTok video of a dude, super normal looking dude with a beard and glasses, and he went through all of the memes that were on the bullets and everything.
Personally, my view of what you've done. I don't care about your motivation in terms of other people's inappropriate memes, many of which I may well agree with you about. But that doesn't mean that I then go and do it myself or worse, because that makes me even more inhuman and abhorrent. And by your definition,
I disagree. I think
I know you disagree. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you. I know. I'm just telling you. I know. Hang on. I'll let you have your say.
I'm a mirror.
I'll let you have your say.
They have shown.
I'll let you have your say. I'm telling you.
They should actually detour.
I'm using your own justification to tell you what I think of you and what you've done. Right? That's my free speech at work. Let me bring in Gillian Michaels. I mean, Gillian, look. I saw Brian there nodding to some of what he was hearing there. Not all, to be clear.
All right, so I'm going to skip around a little bit because I want to hear from... It gets... all right, well...
Nodding to some of it about the hypocrisy, which Lucas claims he is exposing with this stuff.
Don't forget, guys, it is a peanut butter night. It's not just about the party. It's about the overlord.
What is your view of what he's saying?
I find this exceptionally sad because, Lucas, you talk about how hurt you were and how offended you were by such despicable things, and then you became the thing that you found the most repulsive, which is alarming, and as I mentioned, deeply saddening. I would be more than happy to litigate some of Charlie's positions for you. I abjectly...
That's why I always go with the wrong arm. I chose my first tattoo for my skinny arms that you can help bulk up with super chats, but I got my family is thicker than blood with AMK, my boy. R.I.P.
These positions for you. I abjectly...
I don't think I need any litigation from a woman who tried to downplay slavery, who tried to all lives matter slavery after she purchased a black child. That's what I would argue. I don't think you need to as far as
would you like
anything.
to discuss it?
Okay.
Because the reality of the situation is that what I gave you, whether you like it or not, is a fact from the 1860 census. And the point is not to downplay slavery.
It is actually a bastardization of actual history. What you cited was inaccurate. You can actually look it up. I don't know if you did.
I actually did
your due diligence. You clearly did not, because
like
in that study that you're citing, in the study that I'm discussing it right now, in the study that you're citing, it takes into account not only the slaves, it takes into account the northern states and the southern states. So to try and implement or to say this all lives matter when it comes to slavery, which is abhorrent and in extreme contradiction to American history, especially in this country as chattel slavery as black Americans, is abhorrent and perverse, especially you, who is the mother of a black child, who she purchased.
Right.
Other people
is my turn to talk?
You purchased.
Is it
by all means?
You purchased. It would be racist to adopt a white child. But it's also racist to adopt a black child. Make it make sense, guys. Make it make sense. So I'm going to hop ahead a little bit. They brought in this congresswoman or whatever the fuck. And then it got real down.
Transgender. I find that very ironic. She also called me a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat.
Let's back it up a little.
let's go back to the panel. I mean, Brian Shapiro, did any of that give you pause for thought?
Well, first of all,
I mean, she basically, I watched it before. She basically said, you know, what we're all thinking, that this is a horrible thing, turn the temperature down, blah, 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 all that.
Well, I find it ironic that Nancy Mace is talking about telling the truth, yet she's the person who blamed the shooter in the Charlie Kirk murder as a transgender. I find that very ironic. She also called me a Democrat. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a registered independent that is anti-Donald Trump.
See? It's cope. It's cope. Nobody fucking cares if you're a registered independent, if you're supporting the left. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you are registered as. I care who you are carrying water for.
So I want to be very clear on that as well. Listen, now she mentioned Ilhan Omar. If that's true about Ilhan Omar and she made those statements, I totally disavow that. But I don't think anybody.
I don't even know what they said, but I'm sure it's true.
You could name me 3 Democrats that are celebrating Charlie Kirk's death that are elected officials.
Oh, that are elected officials. Okay, so it doesn't even matter that the entire electorate, but a scary amount of the electorate is publicly posting videos celebrating death. It's only the elected officials.
Too. Every Democrat out there is saying.
Because we know, right, that people, especially the younger generations, care way more about what their politicians say than the influencers that they follow, right?
Charlie Kirk's death that are elected officials. Number 2, every Democrat out there is saying this is wrong for the most part, political violence, we should never celebrate it. And all the right is doing is blaming it on the radical left, including Donald Trump. Nancy Mace wants to say to bring people together. Donald Trump has divided us by blaming the radical left for what took place here.
You would be blaming. Okay, but Brian, be honest. If it was the other way around, and the investigators said publicly, as they have, as has the governor of Utah, that all the evidence pointed to this person being radicalized by the far right, you would not hesitate to say this was a far-right assassination, and you would go on a massive rant about it. So there's...
Yup. Yeah, I'm going to skip ahead. There's some shit. We're just fucking jumping around.
Intelligent conversation about something that I have said, something that Riley has said, or something that Charlie has said. I'm absolutely here for it. But in this moment, you are very clearly showing the world that you are an integral part of this problem. And it's irrelevant what side of the aisle you're on. It's a human characteristic of demonizing others, and you both have it.
All right, Riley.
Can I just?
Yeah, I would just like the opportunity to defend myself for a second, because Brian, what you said is like the most ill-informed thing I've ever heard. Number one, to insinuate that I'm not a good athlete, as if that even matters. Okay.
Before he's like, nobody would even know. Actually, he says it again. Nobody even know who you are for swimming.
One of the fastest Americans of all time. Can you name me 3 female swimmers?
The reason why I said nobody would
can you
know
name
who
me
you are,
3 female swimmers? If you were going to talk about how no one knew me, can you name me 3 of the top female swimmers in this nation or this world?
99% of the country. 99% of the country can't name 3 female swimmers. The only reason why we know who you are is because
precisely. So why did my athletic ability, which again, one of the fastest in the nation and the world, really, for that matter, when I was competing, why did that have anything to do with anything? Are you saying only the best female athletes, only the best of the best, only those who are winning Olympic gold medals deserve fairness? Is that what you're saying? Make it clear to me, please.
What I'm saying is,
okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to continue on now to say that I have not been a voice for the Epstein victims.
So you don't want me to respond to your question?
This is a recent tweet that I put out that I got a lot of flack for. I said, I serve Christ, not a politician. That
why won't Donald Trump release the Epstein files?
We are going to act like the proven harm.
So here's what you do. This requires your understanding of what your diaphragm is, but you need to inhale as much as you can and then flex your diaphragm for as long as you can. Hiccups are a bodily like rhythm fuck up, and so you just got to reset and just like you're taking a shit, but don't actually just. And if you can hit 30 seconds, that'll I get violent hiccups and I hate them. So there you go.
I serve Christ, not a politician. That
why won't Donald Trump release the Epstein files?
We are going to act like the proven harm and abuse of
because
Epstein
he's in them.
Cause never happened. His victims deserve so much better than that. There is no line to walk when it comes to sex trafficking, especially of children. So to slander me and say that I have not been a voice for the Epstein victims is ridiculous. I have been a voice for the women in Muslim countries, in Afghanistan, in Yemen, in South Sudan, who are.
No, he wasn't. I am just a dude. You are just a dude. Charlie Kirk was a lot more than that. All of Turning Point USA was Charlie Kirk. Everyone under the age of 25 who voted for the right choice in our previous election is largely because of what he did. So if you want to say we're all just dudes and chicks, okay, then you're not saying anything. But if you're saying he's just some other person, very clearly, that is not the case.
under Sharia law who don't get to get an education,
Riley.
who don't get to go to the gym, who don't get to go to the doctor. Like, I've been a voice for all these women. So to sit here and act like you know me, number one, is ridiculous and entirely defamatory.
Okay, Riley, can I respond? Okay, Riley.
Now that I'm done,
understood.
absolutely.
Let me ask. Okay, so Riley, when Donald Trump bragged about going into teenage girls' locker rooms on the Howard Stern show, are you willing to condemn Donald Trump right now on the program, or the fact that he's
don't do that. Okay, your turn.
A liable sexual abuser and a 34-count felon? He bragged about going into teenage girls' locker rooms. If you care, which I believe you do, by the way, Riley, if you care about young women, are you willing to condemn Donald Trump for going into teenage girls' locker rooms without their permission?
I think any man who violates a woman's privacy, safety, fairness when it comes to athletic competitions is detestable and condemnable. Easy.
There you go. There you go. There you fucking go. Is Donald Trump a man who went into a woman's space? Well, then she's not okay with it. It's called having principles.
Fairness. I didn't like what. Hey, Pierce.
Look at the projection. Ready for this fucking wild projection? Wild projection. And then I'm going to skip forward to Jeffree Star, and then I'm going to call it a night. So I want you to listen to what Riley said again, and then listen to where fucking Paperboy goes with it.
Locker rooms without their permission.
I think any man who violates a woman's privacy, safety, fairness when it comes to athletic competitions is detestable and condemnable. Easy peasy, lemon
I didn't
squeezy.
like what. Hey, Pierce. This is why I bring this up. I'm so glad she said that. She went back to transgenders and she didn't answer my question. So I will try.
Projection. You asked about a man who is infringing on women's rights to privacy. And then she said, not even just Donald Trump, but any man who does that. And your mind goes to transgenders. You did that. She did not say anything, even related to trans. She directly answered your question and more. Now, again, I see the liberal brain rot and why he went to think that she was talking about trans. That's not what happened. Projection.
I'm so glad she said that. She went back to transgenders and she didn't answer my question. So I will try to ask it again.
I'm saying nothing
literally did.
It's telling
She
that
said
you insinuate
any
I'm
man.
talking about men.
She won't answer the
May I
question.
address the galvanizing that was made by Jillian?
Any
Pierce,
man.
can I just finish this?
Any
real quick?
man's
She won't
spaces.
condemn.
So that
She won't
answers-
condemn Donald Trump for anything.
She just did. She just did.
Sound like a little child who's throwing a hissy
I think
fit.
that would
Pierce,
include.
Pierce, she won't condemn this.
She
Pierce,
won't answer the
Pierce.
question.
All right, let me bring in
She won't
Lucas.
answer the question.
Let me bring in Lucas.
Any
Respond.
man.
Let Lucas respond.
To be fair, she didn't name him by name, but I think that would include Donald Trump. But to bring up as far as the galvanizing, which is
all right, at least fucking somebody's paying attention. And then Paperboy fucking nods as if like, yeah, that was what she was saying. You don't get points for turning her statement into what her statement was meant to be. She said, my girlfriend saw Jeffree Star years ago. She's not following politics at all. Why I love her. And she was totally on board with him. Why you put him in quotes? Are you, do you think Jeffree Star is trans? Jeffree Star is just a dude with makeup.
I think what we're witnessing is gaslighting and political schizophrenia at its peak. Because when we talk about galvanize, we have to look at the body of work that Charlie Kirk did. Whether it was to, once again, dehumanize.
Nope. Jeffree Star is just right-wing.
Black people to say that black women were low IQ and non-deserving of their positions, right? Whether it was to bastardize as far as a Black American lexicon, whether it's the perversion of woke, or whether it was the perversion of Black fatigue, something that was crucial to Black history, even to this day, whether it was the perversion of CRT, I think it's absolutely diabolical to say that this is coming from the left, when Charlie Kirk spent most of his life to do that. I think when he talks about Black death, when it's Trayvon Martin, Breonna Taylor, all these people that he vilified, all these people that he could care less about. But you want—
Okay, but could you engage in an actual discussion of Charles' actual points about those? Or is it just, he said mean things about a thing that I don't agree with? Oh, the latter. Of course.
Stupid. I know something. There is not one mention of Daniel Schaefer. I mentioned Daniel Schaefer. White men killed, police brutality. It's not one mention of Jared Lackey on any of his posts. I mentioned Jared Lackey. White men tased to death, police brutality. There is not one mention of Kelly Thomas. There is not one mention of Ryan Whitaker, killed, shot in the back, white man. because he was playing video games too loud. So to say that they care about, police brutality, they care that it's not galvanizing. They are galvanizing. Charlie Kirk and other people like him are galvanizing their audience to, ironically, to promote a white victimhood complex on a certain group of white individuals who feel disassociated with society currently.
All right, Brian, hold fire.
Same thing that they argue that was happening to black people. They are now prophetizing.
All right, you made your point. Brian, I'm going to come back to you in one moment. We're going to bring in another guest now, Jeffree Star, who's a...
All right, here's where we end. Here's where we end. When Jeffree Star is done, the show is over. The after party begins.
Cosmetics influencer. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Jeffree. You've gone viral. You've gone viral this week for this TikTok live.
He encouraged everyone to speak about their beliefs, whether he believed them or not. Am I a Republican? No, I'm a person. Because I'm standing up for someone that passed away, I'm now being called names in the chat. This is what's wrong with a lot of you people. You will never get far in life. You are sick in the head. Someone just said they're unsubscribing from me. Thank God, please. Because if you believe in vain things, you're part of the problem. If you're so stupid enough to go against science, please unfollow me.
Jeffree,
again, I will ask. Again, I will ask why Liberty felt the need to put him in quotes. Just curious. Just curious. Because that is a dude who says it's a dude and doesn't try to not be a dude. Shout out to CBG. CBG. Welcome to the party. So how many riots are happening? Cities burning. If the left was, well, I think you're trying to say if this was on the left, they would be rioting. And exactly. It's because they are violent people. The issue is to make sure that because they are bad people, and a lot of them are bad people who want violence, that we don't fall for the trap of, well, we're going to do violence to make them do violence. We are better because we are better. When we stop being better, then we are no longer better.
What happened to you as a consequence of that going viral?
So about 100,000 people have unfollowed me this week for speaking about Charlie, the entire thing. I can't believe so many people in America are cheering and praising his death. It's
Completely agree. All right, we're back. Where did we go? Yeah, so CBJ said if the left was right about how violent everybody was on the left, there wouldn't be a far left. Wait, what? If the left was right about how violent everybody on the left was, there wouldn't be a left anymore. I don't think it's the left saying that the left is violent. I think it's people who can see reality who are saying the left are violent, and that typically doesn't overlap. I'm not hearing a lot of people on the left saying that the left is too violent. I would love to hear more of it because it is absolutely the fact, but I don't hear that a lot.
Said, and it resonates with me. But the good news is hundreds of thousands of more people have followed me, and they're on the exact same page. So I don't care about the following. It's not about that. I just had to speak my mind.
Have you been surprised, shocked, depressed by the reaction? I mean, I'm genuinely stunned. I thought I'd seen everything in the news game going back 40 years. But to see the outpouring of gleeful celebration of a young man's murder for expressing his opinions, and a young man who would deliberately go into the opposition territory, college campuses, and get people to line up and say, come on, argue with me in a respectful way. The idea that he gets murdered for doing that all the time seemed particularly perverse to me. Were you?
Exactly.
How did you feel about it?
I was honestly horrified because I'm someone that's always been outspoken. I love the truth. And for some reason, people are afraid of the truth. I've been told all week, he would have hated someone like you. No, he would have respected me because I'm my own person and I know how to have my own thoughts. So when I found out, when I saw it in real time, I was completely devastated. I can't believe someone that has an opinion is now dead. It's disgusting.
Yeah, Brian, I mean, when you hear that, do you find it disgusting, the reaction that Jeffree's had?
Yeah, absolutely. 150%. I think anybody who celebrates Charlie Kirk's death is absolutely disgusting. And I applaud you for, doing the right thing.
You guys didn't hear how much fucking other bullshit he was talking about, where it was kind of giving credence to why it's okay to celebrate the death.
and being a good human being and saying, this is horrible. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve this. I feel for his kids and his family. Doesn't mean we have to agree with everything Charlie Kirk stood for, which obviously I don't. But for the people that are attacking you on social media, I mean, I've gotten death threats as well. It's despicable, and I feel for you. We should be able to have a respectful dialogue about Charlie Kirk, and I would certainly welcome that with Jillian, and I have some questions for her if we have the time.
Well, ask her now.
Okay. Well, Jillian, hi, Jillian. I agree with you. I think respectful conversation.
Oh, you fucked up, homie. You fucked up because you are performative and you have no actual ideation behind the positions that you take. You assume everybody else does. And now we're not even going to the source. We're going to somebody who was friends with the source. And still.
And political discourse is good. It's one thing I have in common with Charlie Kirk. Here's what I would say, ask you about. The day Paul Pelosi was bludgeoned with a hammer, the day after that, Charlie Kirk went on his podcast. He made jokes about it. And on his show, he asked his listeners to donate to the person who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. Are you willing to admit that that's also wrong? Because Charlie Kirk did that on his show.
If Charlie did that, I 100% agree with you. I haven't seen that. A lot of the stuff that I have seen and experienced with Charlie, he advocates consistently against violence. So if he did that, I am in 100% agreement with you. And in fact, came prepared today to talk about this kind of violence and othering on both sides. And I could talk about I believe it was 2016 when Donald Trump talked about people who believe in the Second Amendment going out and taking care of some of these politicians who didn't agree with him, because I think the othering and the demonization and the labeling is devastating our culture. And it is
get a better mic, Jillian. Come on.
Literally getting people killed. So if Charlie did that, then I agree with you on that. I'm unfamiliar with it. I'd have to watch it myself.
Right. So, Jillian, I appreciate you giving me that answer, but he also said that Michelle Obama and Joy Reid.
So we're just going to move on. So she answered your question comprehensively, and that's not good enough. So we're just going to move to see if we can throw something else at the wall.
Don't have the processing brain power to be taken seriously. He called gay people destructive. He said Taylor Swift should submit to her husband. He also said that he blamed Jewish money for ruining America. Again, let me preface this by saying
I've watched a lot of that stuff.
I
watched a lot of that stuff, and that's mischaracterized. And when he was talking about DI, it actually is, and I'm more than happy.
I mean, you're saying this is like a threat, and I don't like that, but you're right.
To send you numerous videos where Charlie talks about the conservative movement and how there is absolutely room for people who are gay, and goes on to admonish somebody who says,
yes, Charlie said empathy is bad because it implies that you understand the other person. I prefer compassion, he says. That is the quote. In fact, let me just, Charlie Kirk, what are we doing? Empathy. Yeah. I would assume it's... What is going on?
And Charlie Kirk, and he talked about his quote, which has been floating around about how he didn't believe in the word empathy and how it was a new age word, yet he stands in Christianity, and those two things conflict. I do believe Charlie Kirk believed in empathy. It's just that his empathy was subjective. I believe he believed.
I don't want this. What are we doing here? Give me the fucking video. I don't know why I don't know why I tried. I always fucking think, oh yeah, they'll just give it to me. Empathy. Beep 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 me. And so again, this is coming off of Waco Mine saying, didn't Charlie say empathy was bad though? Indeed, he did. So let's hear what he actually really good has to say.
Polling out of Alaska. And so there's some really good polling out of Alaska that shows that Kelly Tshibaka is gaining on Lisa Murkowski and is in a very, very good position despite the unconstitutional, immoral, incredibly complicated ranked choice voting system. Never should have been approved. It's silly. It's backwards. It's rigged. It's awful. So the new...
Just a reminder that this man is dead now.
Communication strategy for Democrats, now that their polling advantage is collapsing in every single state. It's collapsing in Ohio. It's collapsing even in Arizona. It is now a race where Blake Masters is in striking distance. Kerry Lake is doing very, very well. The new communication strategy is not to do what Bill Clinton used to do, where he would say, I feel your pain. Instead, it is to say, you're actually not in pain. So let's just a very short clip. Bill Clinton in the 1990s, it was all about empathy and sympathy. I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think Empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but it is very effective when it comes to politics. Sympathy I prefer more than empathy. That's a separate topic for a different time. Here's cut 65.
Sympathy over empathy, understanding. And this is the irony. The irony is that whenever we talk about race issues, we'll talk about how the 90s colorblindness was the peak of racial relations, even though it wasn't the best it could be. Because I do believe that there is an aspect of we are different. It is different to be white. It is different to be Indian. It is different to be black. It is different to be an immigrant. These things are different. And so first, we need to be able to see each other all as humans and living under the same laws and all that. But to expect that, oh no, yeah, I know exactly what your life is like. No, the fuck you don't. But still, you can be aware that you have no fucking clue what it's like to be me. But if I tell you things about my life, then you can sympathize with that, which is much more powerful in a community than pretending that you understand things that you don't. And I mean, while we're talking about quotes from him, I'm sure somebody's going to ask about the civil rights thing. We already talked about it. But yes, he said the civil rights ultimately was a good thing. Oh, we got a hungry dance. We got a hungry dance. Give him one more. Give him one more. We're almost at 4 hours. We're almost at 4 hours. But the civil rights quote, or the Civil Rights Act quote, was saying that, of course, we want people to be treated equally under the law. But that law is being abused to allow people to not be treated equally under the law, like with CRT and DEI. So he was right. Those are good ideas. And because it's not that people disagreed. It's the fact that they didn't care enough to understand. They didn't care enough to understand before they decided, I'm going to shoot this husband and father. Seems like he was going for the face, but either way. We said a deep dive with Grok, and empathy is basically unfounded psychobabble bullshit.
Bingo!
It's an excuse. So you have sympathy, but aren't willing to hurt yourself to help others. So the left is like, give me your money to give your money to the pedophiles in government, or you're not empathetic. Yep. Don't you want to accept cartels into your community? You don't have empathy. I'm with CBJ. Never. No, thank you. CD said the only quote we need from Charlie and applies most from this show. When we stop talking, we start fighting. Well, goddamn. I don't know how to end on a better note than that. So we will definitely, of course, I got to give a big shout out to all of the donations. You guys really, really came through tonight. Unfortunately, we did not hit the goal, but we got close. And you guys really came through for me. I love it. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out with me, guys. I know that you could be spending your time doing anything, and yet you are here hanging out with the Overlord, who's looking at me because he needs to pee, and myself, little old me. You here, you are. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out. If you are new, please do hit that subscribe. I'm live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, dropping new videos every single day and going live sometimes whenever I feel like it. Like I said, Saturday, I'm going to be on a panel. I don't know exactly what it is. I should be able to stream to this channel, but we'll see how all of that works out. And of course, if you are a member of the channel or you hit that pinned link before the stream is over, you can come and hang out in the after party. Thank you so very, very much for hanging out, guys. Once again, Morty, come here. Once again, this is my co-host, Morty, and I have been your host, Lutch, a.k.a. the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of common sense. Until next time, guys, we are out of here. Peace. This is the longest stream I've done in a minute. God damn.